squad, I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you all be down. When you smile in my face, but you play me like a clown. It's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm mad that when I come down straight, I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean, revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Put you through here. Double side. Get something in your rigger. 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 Double side. Double side. Get something in your rigger.
Brooklyn, who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
All right. It's the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast live from Trenton, New Jersey. Happy Thursday, everybody. What's up, Jim?
What's up? Is this 20 degrees cooler than it might have been yesterday? That's what's
Yeah, this is great. CWA in the house. I was a CWA member for many, many years. CWA, yeah, baby. Communications Workers of America in the house. I hope they're going to yell at some politicians. Go get them.
Hugh. Is Hugh their guy?
Can't hear you. What?
Hugh. Is Hugh their guy?
No, that's UFCW.
UFC. I got to get all these acronyms straight.
It's UFCW. Then we got IBEF, IBEW, and then we have Teamsters. We have a bunch of unions. Oh, you have one. Oh, I didn't know you had one. Okay, you're good. Okay, you're good. You're on mic number 4. All right, we're here at the State House, man. This is like what we've been doing for years.
Years? That's vague.
It's our 11th year.
Damn right.
You can use that black one. You can hold it. Just hold it up hold it up like you're in prison. Just kidding.
Never been, thank God.
Oh yeah.
Been to county a few times, but never prison.
County lockup.
Been to county in Florida, been to county in Jersey.
You don't want county lockup?
Don't want to go in Florida for real.
No.
Florida's evil.
So another day, another year at the State House. Why are we here at the State House for 11th year? Why the hell are we still here? Why do we have a 10-foot giant rat with all kinds of messages about Retari not trusting me? What is this?
When's it going to be over?
When's it going to end?
No, I mean, where is our ending point? You know, we can always reach back. We take care of one issue, the next one pops up. Take care of that, the next one pops up. It's like not whack-a-mole. We're getting two and getting
it's
one.
It's just a never-ending battle.
For one.
Yeah.
But it can't be never-ending. I mean, because
eventually it's going to end when somebody dies.
It can be never-ending, but it can't be a never-ending battle for an individual because eventually all things must pass, including us. So
Eventually, somebody's going to wake up and realize, hey, you know what? Just let these guys friggin' grow.
Here's the question: would be how many advocates?
The problem was
how many advocates died in the last 4 years that we haven't had this bill passed that would give patients homegrown? How many patients have died? We don't have certain relativity.
See, the big problem with the whole growing thing is when the whole legalization thing came about. What Murphy did was he sent somebody to all the states that have legal weed that grow, and he asked, what was the one thing that you don't recommend? And every single state said, don't let them grow.
You know, that's bullshit. He didn't do that. A man walked up to me. It's that kind of thing. He didn't do that. He said he did it. I give you that. But it's real easy to say you're doing something and then turn around, like say, I really support this, and then don't support it.
No, that's true. That's very true.
And I'm reticent to believe anything that any legislator says offhand. But there are legislators who I do believe, and not coincidentally, Senator Troy Singleton, who wrote the home grow bill for patients, like almost 4 years ago. Yeah, I did write 4 years ago. Actually, it's I do know that Senator Scutari's had it blocked for the last 1,261 days, which is like a little less than 3.5 years. But it's not without consequence. It's a health care bill. We're supposed to treat medical cannabis on par with prescription drugs when it comes to doing things, and we don't. It just never gets the same. Now, what happened is when there's a lot of adults that weren't patients that helped patients get home grow. There's a lot of advocates that were not patients, did their job, but when it became about adults,
Jay Coffee.
Yeah,
Jay Coffee. Yeah.
But anyway,
is the best city attorney in New Jersey, and Mayor Davis is here. Oh my God, Sheriff Davis. Good, congratulations, sir.
We don't see everybody smiling around this table that often.
Great, awesome.
All right.
We're still trying to get that light on 49th and Broadway. Just reminding you.
Yeah, he left that sign home today. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Jimmy Davis, Sheriff of Hudson County right there. That's amazing. Wow. Great job. And of course, the mayor of Oceanport, Jay Coffey, was the mayor of Oceanport for many years. And he was friends with Jeff Oakes. He was really good friends with Jeff Oakes.
See, that carries a lot.
They could tell you stories about Jeff because they grew up together. And, oh, man. Yeah, and Mary knows him, too, very well. So we love Jay Coffey. We love Jay Coffey. And Mayor Davis, man. Mayor Davis is now going to be sheriff.
I'm taking suggestions. How do we shift the discussion to from a different direction to the center? Is what has no home grow in New Jersey protected us from that would have happened if patients had been growing the last 4 years?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, maybe something. I don't know. It's up to somebody who's blocking it to validate his reasons. The reason the patients have gone broke, not being able to grow their own, is because, and we are the outlier state, so don't you think it would be up to the outlier state to defend why we're an outlier state rather than patients try to defend why they need home grow?
Yeah.
Why is the burden of proof on sick people, many that can't get out of their house? I mean, why is the burden of proof on them to say we want what every other state has that has adult legalization? Patients can grow their own. We might have set a bad example for Delaware, and they went to the dark side with us. We're like a cancer on the illegal medical cannabis community. We were the first one that didn't allow home grow. 13 states did?
Yeah, 15, and then Delaware followed suit. So now Delaware and New Jersey have the walk of shame.
Yep.
For patients, sick, dying, and disabled people. These are sick people that need home grow. Disabled vets.
I mean, there's a lot of times where I would love to come down here and I just can't make it.
I know a lot of vets would come, but they can't make it. People in wheelchairs, they can't make it. And as a matter of fact, you can't even get up here today because we have no ramp for anyone in a wheelchair. So if you're in a wheelchair, I'm sorry. The State House now has no access for you if you're in a wheelchair. I'm sorry. The lawn is off limits to you.
Well, access to us.
We don't have a ramp
Do
today.
you know the nearest dispensary to me is a half-hour walk?
Half-hour walk.
I gotta walk an hour to and from. Go to the dispensary.
Well, should all legal patients should be allowed to grow their own.
I totally agree.
Or find or know why that it's done without explanation. Now there is a move. Senator Scutari is not going to say, "Okay, I'm going to relent and allow it to be discussed. I'm going to allow other senators information from a committee hearing. I'm not going to allow that to them."
Right.
But you can't ask another senator what he thinks of the bill. If he has an opinion, where did it come from? It didn't come from a verified committee hearing where people come up for and against it, have questions asked of them in real time.
I've always believed that a lot of it comes from the internet. Like they do a lot of their own research on the internet and come to their own ideas and their own opinions without actually talking to anybody.
Yeah, and of course we all know you can find an opinion for anything you believe on the internet. You can go in with an opinion and back it up. Anybody can. I can back up stuff I don't like.
Exactly.
But then it goes, but what about this? But what about that? No, that's not the conversation. The conversation is what are patients being saved from? What's going on in other states specifically that we want to avoid at patients' own health? In other words, we're going to cost them a bit of their health, quite a bit of their finances.
Let's play devil's advocate. What are the reasons why they wouldn't want to give us home grow? What are their reasons? Like if you go on ChatGPT,
I'll tell you
you
why.
can have that argument.
I know.
Let's do it. Let's have the argument.
I know.
Tell me.
Okay,
One is
well,
money.
I don't
Why
know.
can't we do it?
One is money.
No. We can't do it. Well, first of all, we can't do it because we can't get the hearing. But why can't we get the hearing? If we get a hearing for patients, there is going to be the biggest outcry you've ever heard from adults in New Jersey. What about us? What about us? What about us? That's what's going to happen. That's what they want to avoid. They don't want that discussion. They can't have the discussion about patients because they don't have a leg to stand on. But they don't want to have discussion with adults because it's going to be, we need to get the program more off the ground. We're still tweaking it and whatever. That's what patients were told in 2010 by then Senator Scutari, that we could revisit it. I don't say he lied when he said it, but he changed his mind. See how I walked the middle there? You don't just go right to liar. No.
Liar.
No, he's a pussy is what he is.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Was I supposed to say wuss and let everybody figure it out?
Yeah, that's a terrible word.
See, well, no, it isn't. A pussycat is don't be a pussycat. Meek, mild. What it is he really he's riding that wave of getting some revenue into the treasury. That gives him power as a legislator. That gives him all sorts of leeway
like that.
and political capital.
They like the moolah in this building.
No, it's all about power. The money leads to power.
And money and power.
Power gets you more money. Money doesn't get you power necessarily. I'm just saying that. I try to make it sound like somebody else said it first.
Well, no, it's always been
It's-
money, power, respect.
You have a
Get the
microphone,
money,
it's
you get the
true.
Power, then you get the respect.
When you have a microphone in front of you, everything you say is true. You didn't know that?
Yeah, but the discussion
powers of
isn't
microphones.
being had. Our Senate president has only thing he has said when he gets kind of surprised by a reporter live, especially when it's like Brianna Vanozzi on Spotlight New Jersey, that he when he gets surprised, what about home grow for patients? He says, yes, I can see that at some time, but what I have in mind is maybe we should have a very strict, limited pilot program only using the sickest and patients who are in the most pain. That's what he said. It's you can watch him stumble through it. He had to say something.
I have seen some of the clips.
So, the thing is, what he's going to do is suggest that. And then there it goes. You can't draw that dividing line. It's impossible.
No.
It's an impossible puzzle. Because if it's, okay, everybody with cancer, you just got a cancer diagnosis. Can you grow your own? I don't know. What stage? Stage 1. No, not till you get to stage 2. No. See, using it keeps you from getting to stage 2 in many patients.
Your tumor's too small for
I got a friend.
No, your
Yeah.
tumor's too small. Sorry.
I got a friend that actually just got hit with esophagus cancer. And he now has a port. He's on blood thinners before he can actually start the chemo. But he can't go to the dispensary anymore because he walks. He don't drive. Can't afford a bus.
So
And
what?
the bus don't even go to the dispensary over there, over by him.
Well, then, some would argue, well, then patients really wouldn't be able physically and know how to grow their own, and that's true. But
It's very easy.
but hold
There's
on,
so many
wait,
books.
hold on. The bill isn't about patients being the cultivators of their own. Somebody else could grow one. You'd be allowed to grow one. You're allowed to hand. You just can't have any of it. You could grow for a patient in that patient's house. You pass a law where they can designate a grower to help, and therefore they get exactly what they need.
Look at this. Louis Mergot thinks we're all wrong because Scutari is such a supporter of home grow.
Yeah, he was a supporter of home grow from
Yeah.
2000
In 20 years ago.
2005. Let's be real specific. 2005 till 2010, he supported it.
Yes, he did.
2010 to 2014, he said he supported it.
And he said he would sign the bill if it ever came.
No, you're talking about governor. I'm talking about it getting a hearing. The bill wasn't even written till 4 years ago, but he did say that we had a chance to review it. So somewhere along the line, when he became Senate president, he inherited Senate President Sweeney's hold on the bill. He wouldn't let it be heard. Now it's Senate President Scutari. Patients really had hope.
We did.
It breaks my heart to think about it. But
That's one of the reasons why I moved back from Florida.
But when they heard that it was Senator Scutari who now had control of the Senate, the one that got him home grow, but it got taken away. The one that did everything it took. The one that said, let's get patients off the battlefield and we'll get home grow later. We will. And everybody believed it because I believe he was telling the truth then. But that was then. This is now. It's like Et tu, Scutari, which of course is a reference to Et tu, Brute, and the Caesar, and the Julius Caesar deal. So the whiplash of the rug getting pulled out just as they thought they were stepping in the home grow was devastating. People's whole mindset changed, and it was just too big a shock. But then it was like another year, another session's over, a new session. No hearing yet. Okay, made it through half year. Now we're in the second half of the session. They're going on vacation. There's nothing in place to have a hearing. This isn't working, and we can't expect different results, or by everybody's all saying, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results.
No.
So doing the same thing would be just like walking for exercise, not getting anywhere. So things have to be changed, and this is going to be your change. I'm going to promise that.
You think we're actually going to have homegrown?
Well, actually, I don't think it's not about we're not going to have. I don't think we're going to have home grow, but I think we are going to lob some of our own. In other words, we're not going to just sit back and take punches.
Facts.
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't.
Yeah. No, it's going to take something a little more aggressive, a little more direct.
Officially have grown.
Yeah, well, it is, and I have ideas, and the best ideas don't take more than one or two people to accomplish. So, because one thing I got tired of real quick is, hey, if we all, we all never, we all have never, unless you were in a room that exploded, we all would have died or something. But we all never. Hey, if 1,000 of us, no, 1,000 of us won't. So it's but the thing is, you can't just go from nothing for 4 years and ramping it up all the way like an explosion. When somebody says to the event that will be noticed and put it on the map, whatever that might be, the question would be like, why'd you do that? And the answer has to be, well, we did this, we did that. We had a petition trying to get the bill heard. We have a list of, you got to prove you tried everything. And how long have I been saying that also when people get in touch with their legislators, if you do an email, it's not through their system. I mean, it's directly to them. You know, you do that just as easily. You have a record. You have an email trail of whether or not they ignored you or gave you service. And that can be public document. And then people can be not shamed, but all that can be put on a
Brought
database.
into a light.
Yeah. Imagine that, a database of everything, things that legislators had communicated by email with their constituents, you know, to where you could read, oh, look, he didn't answer the question. Oh, man, he blew him off for, 3 months. You know, it's an email trail.
It is.
Now, there's a one-way street of, what do you call, you know, we can say anything, we show anything we want. They can't talk about us in particulars. They can't
No.
say, well, that's because he emailed me this. Oops, you can't do that. That's the rules. It's where we rule. We could take, oh, look, here's a copy of the email. You could put it on a billboard.
Yeah.
They could have
Yeah.
satisfied that, and you
Sometimes I'd
could
like to.
say they didn't, and they couldn't prove it. You see,
Exactly.
yeah. So basically, I think we've almost destroyed the view of potheads being creative because we haven't gotten real creative. You know, we've gone farther than we smoke pot and we like it a lot. We smoke pot and we like it a lot, you know.
We smoke pot and we like it a lot. We don't do that anymore here. We used to do that, didn't we?
It just needs to be more
Well, I see some
communication
pot, Nick.
between people who are advocates, individuals, you know,
hey.
people that sign the petitions.
Hey. Oh.
It's really cool, though, after all these years here, that we've gone from being scrutinized by the state police year after year.
I thought they were messing with you. I thought he was going to ask you about the rat and how you can't have it. No, he was asking you how much the rat cost.
Watch, he's gonna go buy one.
I want
you
to
know,
piss his
but
neighbor off.
Alibaba or Tubi or
well, he made it
T-Mobile.
very clear. You guys have been here a long time, and you never give anybody any trouble. You know, you know, it isn't like, oh, you got to sign on the other side or barriers here. You technically the permit says you can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What part of this? I didn't see that.
Well, it used to be it can't be self-supporting signs. Remember, we used to have them on the railing, and then we couldn't do that. And yeah, there's a railing going up. I mean, it's different than this.
It's a new crew. It's a whole new crew. I don't know any of these guys.
We've outlasted them.
We've outlasted the state police here.
We've
You really have, though.
There's
That's not
probably
even a lie.
Well, you know, it's sort of like I remember when he was newly assembling in Zwicker, and he stopped by the podcast. He was like brand new and stopped by and liked it from the beginning. But how long ago that was, and he's doing well. But here we are. I mean, you got to buy a rat. You know, I mean, the question, how much did it cost? It was about $130 more than Lefty had. That's what it cost.
It was expensive.
$500.
$500 plus the battery was
Which was another 500.
$500. So we
Oh.
can protest for an hour without electric somewhere, for an hour and a half without electric. That's amazing.
That is, though.
So we can go anywhere with that rat
Literally.
and protest.
What does the battery cost separate? That's the part that amazed me. Oh, it's $400.
About $450 for that battery. Yeah,
So, like, basically, it's-
battery's not included.
we give away.
When are they ever?
They can give these away.
Sometimes.
They can give these. These are free, and they come. But the battery is like $500. Yeah, I was surprised first time I
Oh,
found
man.
that. Yeah, and you know, another thing though that I don't know, I don't know why it's under people's radar that do what we do, but it's so much else is going on. Nobody's particularly noticing that there is in the works the administration going to change the patient protections established in 2011 that allowed all states medical programs to proceed unfettered. You know,
That's the federal.
yeah,
Note.
that's yeah,
It's
the
a note. It's
federal.
a
no,
memorandum, right? So,
no, it's a federal in place protection memorandum. I mean, you could just somebody could issue another memorandum and it'd be gone. Doesn't work that way. This thing, that's why it's lasted this long. But
what's it called? The Rohrbacher
oh,
something?
are you probably
Something-
thinking? I don't know.
It's Rohrbacher something.
Well, there was a Hinchy Rohrbacher.
It protects us, but it's not like really legally binding. Like,
No, it is.
it is, but
yeah.
they can get rid. Like you said, they can. Get
No,
rid of it.
there's nothing they can do about so much of what medical programs can do. I mean, basically, the states are taking care of it, you know, pretty well. And
I think it's a threat because he wants something from New Jersey, so he's going to extort. Health
what
threat. I'm going to threaten to do that unless you give me this, unless you do this.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what's going on here. We're
That's
being
what, yeah. Well,
extorted.
you know, if it was business, that'd be an acceptable business practice, no doubt about it. But you know,
Leverage and pressure. That's the whole.
But that is also then holding medical cannabis patients of this state hostage.
Yeah, holding us hostage. We're political footballs here. Great. Thanks for taking care of the sick, dying, and disabled.
Okay, I posted something on my website so I could probably get it up. And the thing is, I read a quote. I extended it. I said it was Joe Biden, and it was so. That's why we need to keep going and studying and make sure, and it should be in Schedule 3, and we got to allow it so it can do banking and all these things. And I said this is 9 months ago from President Biden, and then I did all that, and then I started and said, "What? No, get the fuck out of here." That was candidate Trump I was quoting. Candidate Trump, and this is to me, this is not political. It's about New Jersey's program. You know, I don't care what party you're from, but it's just that to say something like that to get elected because it's a popular issue, and Kamala and Joe were getting all the credit for getting everybody's records expunged, and Chris went to Washington and sat with Kamala and a couple others, you know, and it was like, how do you take credit for that? Well, if you're running to be president, you say it's great, you know. You don't say I agree with them. You just say it as well.
Right.
And
Right.
and now to be saying he didn't want control or federal control over the states. But this law that we have was held up for 6 months because then Governor Christie had his out. He said, I want to get assurances from the federal government, knowing he couldn't. And that stalled it. I mean, everything's going to be regressive. And, you know, I can look at it from two ways. I mean, you know, as just an adult consumer, but as a patient. And I don't know, it always seems like adults, you be careful you take care of yourself all this long anyway, you know? It's not as urgent as it is for patients. I'm sorry for people who don't understand that, but when it gets personal and it's somebody you know and you see what they go through, and then you see how different it is when they can afford, but then you go broke. Oh, empathy sucks. You know that?
Empathy
Yeah.
is
I wish there was a switch. I want to know what it's like. I mean, just for an hour or two to not give a shit about other people at all.
I
Really?
don't know.
I don't care. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit what you say. I don't give a shit what you say. You know? It just seems like it'd be easier.
I've always believed in empathy.
Look what Susan's going through.
Oh yeah.
You know, she
Oh,
had to go back on opiates and pills because she couldn't afford a medicine. The pills were cheap.
And you know, we
And
got
that's what I'm scared of, actually, because I got to go on pain management, and you know they're going to give me Percocet.
You'll be able to relate to this, but if I may, I want to take a minute and tell like the full story. It'll take a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
We'll call her Susan because that's her name.
Mhm.
When she was 19, she was riding with her family. They're in a van. Mom was driving. There was an accident. Her mom was ejected, killed instantly. she went through the mental trauma of finding that out before any EMTs were there, seriously injured herself, so much so that she spent the next 29 years in pain management with opiates.
Yeah.
And she weaned herself by using cannabis until it was all cannabis. And that lasted 19 months, but she ran out of money going to dispensaries. See,
Yeah.
this is what she's supposed to do. She did what she was supposed to do, but she ran out of money to be doing this. So when that happens, you go to the gray market, you know, I mean, you do that, but then at a certain point, even that, you don't have the money.
Right.
You just don't have it. So then she went back into pain management and other things, you know, when that's going on, and, you know, some of us can get attached to an animal where it becomes part of the family. And when you go, she's going through that right now on top of everything else, you know, and she doesn't have anything to smoke. I can't imagine it. Well, I can't say that somebody's donated a little bit of something I'm going to bring over to her, and like tomorrow probably. You know, patients try to take care of themselves too behind the scenes as best they can. But so anyway, yeah, and Susan's legislators, she wrote them. There's an email trail. There's an email trail that her legislators knew all about this and didn't do anything. And it'd be like, you mean what happens when I can do this? Yeah, Here's the email trail.
Yeah.
What happens when somebody can walk into their legislator's office, take out their phone and go, did you really say this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are that connected, but we're not being that connected. You know, it's, if adults recognized how quick it would happen for them, cascade, if patients got to grow their own. About the time patients were actually able to plant, the bill would be heard for adults. It wouldn't be another decade. It comes right in like riding its airflow, drafting it. So I don't know if many people remember the first time around when there was a first hearing for legal medical marijuana. The press came out in force. It was a big deal to them. You know, they couldn't get enough different angles on it. So when the hearing for Senator Singleton's bill finally happens, there's so much information. See, it's Lefty, you know how many people come against it. There's going to be all sorts of credible people in the rehab industry and law enforcement, psychologists, you know, and everything. And that's well and fine, because if they testify, they get asked questions by committee members. There's committee members who want it, and there's committee members who don't. There's going to be a couple. That's the purpose of a committee hearing. I've seen Senate Health Committee Chairman Joe Vitelli step right in and say, where'd you get that information? He said, no, actually what you're saying is not true. Can you imagine it? That's pretty cool. But you also get their best effort. Then what happens is, after all is said and done, you get to glean all sorts of information from that, where people, you know, you can go back to them. It's not from the news or anything. You know, you can actually go back to the source. They're on duty. So what happens is, okay, now the patients have their home grow committee hearings, and it's probably going to go really awesome. How much of that information do you think will apply to adults as well? I'm saying more than half. All the concerns are going to be, it's the same concern for adults. You know, well, what happens if it gets into the black market? Yeah, well, that works for patients.
Oh my God.
You know, so
But the price of the dispensaries now, the black market is still the way to go.
adults will have so much ammunition to demand that the home grow hearings that are being ignored for adults, as well as patients, but it's patients and adults, you know, they can say, we demand hearings for this because you're having hearings on that, and it almost all applies to this. So they can use the information that others say for patients to their point. And they're able to get out and be more vociferous and loud than patients. You being one of the exceptions. A 10-foot exception right there. I think Raptor is a great idea. It's not offensive. Actually, it's less with him waving. He looks like a huckster holding up the sign and waving. Separates his
You hear the
flag.
great American music in the background.
So anyway, they're doing business here, right up there.
Leroy Truth will be here today to testify in some hearing at 1 o'clock. So hopefully we'll get him on the podcast when he gets here. That'll be interesting.
You'll see him coming.
Oh, you can't miss him. He won't miss us. I said, look for the big rat. That's where we're at. Big rat. It's like a funnel over here.
It changed a lot. When I was coming down here, I almost got lost. I didn't recognize half the block.
None of the signs are blown away.
Well, not yet.
And all the awnings are gone. And
Not
Give it time.
Soon all the legislators are going to be gone. I don't know what the actual schedule is, but it's like
This is it.
after the second week in July, they're not going to be in town, except for days that'll come sporadically. Maybe like 6 days out of a month at best, or 5. They'll have a quorum and be able to do business, and So while it's then quiet around here during their vacation, that's a good time to corral them because the legislators themselves they're reachable. That's what we need. Somebody, we don't have interns for general advocacy. What would be really cool is a website with, upcoming sightings will be possible of legislators, somebody following their campaign because they're going to be running their own campaigns.
yeah.
So that they're running their own campaign, they have to get out and about, and they want people to know they're going to be there. There's not really a lot of notice, but it would be pretty cool if there was some, 14-year-old interns that could do it and say, "Oh, we could help them." And old people are too stupid to know how to do this, and basically connect the dots. Can you imagine what if within 30 minutes of view, if you got a boop 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 thing on your phone and it says, "Oh no, the senator's going to be up at Flake and Bake in about 2 hours," and have somebody get there. I did that with Cheryl just heard me. I can't tell you how many times I showed up. Just I find out one time, and this is having to take pretty much full health care for her, that, Senator Chris Smith is going to be in Brick Township in front of TGI Fridays with the local legislators running for re-election. He's on their red, white, and blue bus, and they're stopping. So I went out and I had a sign, and I was behind where he was, where everybody was semi-circled around him, and I had signage, and it was embarrassing to him. So I ruined it for him. A call.
Hello. Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on. Yes, go ahead.
This is fun stuff.
Hi, this is Rosie here at Dover Motor Speedway. I was just reaching out to see if you're interested in coming out to the track for a race here next month.
Oh, wow. Yeah, where is this now?
This is going to be Dover Motor Speedway.
Oh, not Dover, New Jersey, though, because I had a problem with the mayor in Dover. We don't want to go there. Dover, Delaware is great. I love that speedway. That's the Monster Mile, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Here in New Jersey, I'm a medical cannabis patient. Are we allowed to smoke medical cannabis at the Dover racetrack, or is there a smoking area for patients?
Let me put you on a brief hold and let me double check that with my manager. I believe it's medical. There shouldn't be a problem, but let me just put you on a brief hold and double check with that.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All
I'm gonna have to segregate. I'm gonna have to. Can I talk now? I'll wait till.
Yes.
But yeah, Zoe, Patchell, I forget that.
Yeah, Zoe. She's great.
Yeah. She's gonna love that you did this.
I'll have to tag Zoe in this one.
She's the one like really doing things and.
Yeah.
This is. Yes, I may go off. I don't. Hey, if it comes your way, you take a swing, right? It's like doing improv.
I love it.
No, that's not improving.
That's the best thing ever. This is the best thing ever. I love these phone calls. It's just random, unsolicited gold. This is gold just pouring in.
This is good because, that is a major, major thing.
I want to know because they have wheelchair access for sure, but to smoke up in the grandstands.
If you're
as a
legal patient, and if it was only in state, whatever, just know what's the rule.
What is the rule?
That's it.
What is the rule?
Because ignorance is no excuse. I mean, this is what you do, and you didn't have to leave your cave. You just get to hole up and do good out there. For ignorance is no excuse.
Oh, baby.
Wow.
Well, it's just, the first time I went to the police station with Lefty and a couple others, it was an amazing thing for them to say, okay, it's at a municipal complex. There's a library and other stuff. And in the middle of these buildings was a very big flagpole and quite a bit of room around it. And he said, yes, that's more than 25 feet from the door, right over there. So they put us right out in plain view. No, I wasn't a patient then. So everybody that went to the library, to the municipal building, to the police station, there was like 4 or 5 things. They saw people like using their medicine. They didn't know what was up, whatever. But generally, what would happen would be the desk sergeant or whatever, the person on duty, would have to ultimately end up calling the county prosecutor for guidance. And the thing is, yes, the attorney general likely sent out guidelines, and but there wasn't a mandatory reading of them, as guidelines, and so that wasn't a one and done thing. I also went to a couple of casinos with Lefty and Company, saying, I'm patronizing your casino and I'm in pain. I'm a legal patient. Where can I smoke? And they would get security and they'd go through it and side door. Oh, side door. It doesn't matter. It's getting it straight.
I know some casinos I've been to in Atlantic City had smoking rooms in them.
Yeah.
But I know you're able to smoke cigarettes, but I don't know about weed. I'd assume you'd be able to smoke weed if it's legal.
Yeah, well, that if
you could drink in there.
Generally, if it's good business and there's no complaints, that's going to be the case for sure. They at the casino though, they did seem to want.
Yes, hello.
So, yes, sir. So, as long as you're in one of our designated smoking areas, you shouldn't have a problem with that.
Oh, see, that's amazing. Okay, see, I'm going to make the trip now. What's the date of the race, Monster Mile?
It's going to be July 18th through the 20th.
Jim, you want to go to the Monster Mile with me?
I know that I would be able to medicate myself, so that's actually a consideration.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, this is great. I'm glad you called because I wasn't planning on it, but I'm going to go now. Yeah. I don't go to the Tricky Triangle for that reason. The Tricky Triangle in Pennsylvania does not. Yeah, they don't allow it, so I don't go out there. So I'm going to come to Delaware. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You just made my day. Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Rosie.
Rosie, you just made my day, Rosie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I will say, so the reason that I was reaching out is because you are eligible for a 20% off ticket offer. So if you would like, I'm more than welcome to email that over to you with the link. And you guys would be able to go on there and purchase tickets using that discounted link.
I was going to ask that question. That's actually amazing. I will do that. My email is leftygrimes@gmail. Lefty Grimes, LEFTY GRIMES
Okay, perfect. I will email that over, and then it'll have the link on there. It is for our turn area for that Sunday race, but you are still able to get 20% off, and it's for anywhere in those turns.
Okay, I'll be in my wheelchair, so there'll be wheelchair access, right? I'm sure.
Yes, sir. So wheelchair in the turns, we have that in row 1 as well as row 31. So there will be ADA, and you'll be able to get companion seats with that as well.
1 through 31.
Okay, so if I'm facing the track, is that the left part of the stands or the right part of the stands?
So it will be it's really either or. So you can do turns 1 and 2 or turns 3 and 4. It's just that entire row in most of those sections is gonna be ADA seating.
Oh.
So we will have an elevator that'll take you up to that, and on that level there will be restrooms and concessions. And then there will be ADA seating, so you'll be able to sit in your wheelchair, and then if you have a friend going with you, they would be able to sit next to you in a companion seat.
Right. Oh, perfect. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Rosie. You just made my day. Really did.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I will email that over to you. I'll include my number on there. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to reach back out, and I'm more than happy to help you guys.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, Jim, we're going to go smoke weed at the Monster Mile. We're going to the Monster Mile, Jim.
That is awesome.
Who wants to go to the Monster Mile? We're all going to smoke weed at the Monster Mile. All patients. You have to be a patient, though. I believe you have to be a patient. Because I said patients.
Yeah, I don't have a medical card.
I have confirmation that if you're a patient, you can go to the Monster Mile and smoke some weed in the smoking area. I'm going to go this year. Rob, if you're listening, let's go to the Monster Mile. Come on, man. Rob's probably got free tickets anyway. But Rob, come on, man. Let's do it. Let's go to the Monster Mile. I'm ready. I love the Monster Mile. It's a little track. It's like a mile and a half track. Oh, it's nice and small. A lot of action.
See, I'm sorry. Did I hear you saying the Monster Mile is either a mile or a mile and a half long? Because I'll place a bet on mile.
I think it's 2 miles.
Then it'd be the Monster Mile.
I think it's a short track. I think it's a half mile.
You
You think it's a mile? I don't think it's a mile. I think it's all. I know. I don't think it's. I think it's off a mile. I think it's a half a mile. It should be the Monster half mile.
That's why it's probably not.
Monster Mile plus 0.1. But it's Monster Mile.
Look.
0.1. Literally, it is 0.1. It's not exactly a mile.
Look, if you know anything about racetracks, and you look, Freehold Raceway was a half mile. Meadowlands was a mile. Freehold, you could throw a baseball across from one side to the other. You know,
I should have asked her how long the track is. I should have. I missed it. I should. How long is the Monster Mile?
What color is the White House?
I missed my. See, I gotta prepare for these calls. You should be feeding me these lines.
Well, look, on a quiet day like that, this is basically, we're just talking about the ignorance is no excuse story, having to educate and go there and put them in a real life world situation. Okay, we're here. Can I do it here or not? But you didn't have to do that there. You got to do it here. Have somebody do the research quick. Come back, give you the answer. Her name's Rosie. Don't forget. The first thing I thought of was a whole lot of Rosie. I was just had AC/DC in my head.
Yeah, that's how I remember her name. I have the song in my head now.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a whole lot of help.
She was a whole lot of help.
Yeah, you got to get the foot to heel, toe, heel, toe. You know, boom, boom, boom.
She said we could smoke some weed.
Yeah. But, and you know that you did that with Jeff at the Monmouth Park.
Monmouth Park.
you know,
Monster Mile at Monmouth Park.
it's the real deal. You don't even really have to
That was
go
great.
tell security, you know, look, I'm going to smoke because
That was
I hear
great.
you do allow that.
Tell that story. Tell that story, man.
Yeah, okay.
This is a great
I don't
story.
know. I don't know.
This is a great racetrack.
Matter of fact, I
story.
can clear something up that I've wondered about it too. It was called like they have events at Monmouth Park beside racing.
Yeah, this was different. This was something else.
Yeah, this was Hippie Fest.
That's right. It was a hippie fest.
But Hippie
Yes.
Fest meant that there was a lot of tabling, and it didn't have to be hippie or just to call it Hippie Fest and play that kind of music, you know, and stuff. And so my brother, being the somewhat of an artist he turned out to be, was tabling with stuff he made, like peace signs and things like that. Oh, peace signs, Hippie Fest, good. So I was there because I wanted to see that, but I like some off-track betting, so I was with my significant other, Kathy. I was like 2 deep, 3 deep in line to make a bet. Now, somehow, I don't know why, but I had no idea you'd be there. But there was a way maybe I should have thought there was a 1 million possibility. And maybe it went through Jeff. I don't know. How did you know? No, after I tell what happened. Yeah. So I'm there, and out of nowhere, I hear, Jim, hurry up. They're about to arrest Jeff. And I know who he means. I turn, it's Lefty. I'm like in shock. How is this happening? But he turned and walked away. So I had to hustle, catch up to him. He's saying, yeah, he lit up a joint by the stage there, and there's a woman grabbed her from him, and the police, and they're the security, and you know. So by the time we get back into it's not outside, it's inside, and you know, the big area just inside from the track. I mean, it's like wide open in there, and there's little like round tables that you can like stand and lean on, and you put your betting form on and stuff all over. So, right, so and I guess you can say, and there's I see Jeff and other people is all I'm seeing. And I see 3 people about 15 feet away, almost looking like they're the guilty ones. And it was, you know, the security and a guy in a suit that would, you know, be the head of the thing. And I went straight to Jeff and I said, what happened? And he started to tell me, so let me just ask you this. And it got cut to the chase. Or how are you satisfied with what went on? And he said, I think they did great. I'm holy crap! That, you know, I didn't know what I would be there for, but then I'm looking at it from their point of view. You go hustling away. Hey, I'm going to see if I can find Jim or whatever, because somebody knew I was at Hippie Fest. But in all those people, somehow you found me, and then so I walked up, card in hand. And they looked at me like I might be an off-duty lawyer or something, you know, because it kind of straightened up a little bit, you know. And I could feel that vibe. It was very strange for that situation because I'm usually that person, and, you know. And I handed him my card and told him who I was in that respect. And I said, and I want to tell you, you did a good job. You did what you were supposed to do. And,
Lefty, what did you just put in that pen?
Some wax. I don't know what kind of wax it is, though.
I'll bet it's the kind you get high on.
I believe it's smokable and vaporable.
You believe it's smokable?
Vaporizing.
Yeah.
Wax.
Some earwax.
It's fun wax. And not, you know, it's not earwax. It's not candle wax. It's fun wax.
Now I'm confused.
That's dabs, right? That you're doing?
Yes.
So anyway, with Jeff, it worked out.
What strain is it?
I don't know the strain. I don't know.
I feel like I'm going to go to Monmouth Park. I want to do that again.
I want to go to Monster Mile so bad now. That's a fun. You ever go to Monster Mile? Dover racetrack?
No.
Oh, dude.
I've never been to a race.
Really?
I'd go to like Englishtown and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never even been
I've
to
done that
Englishtown.
dirt track.
NASCAR's fun. What was the date that she said? Did you
I
remember?
don't get out much.
Yeah, July
In the middle of July.
17th, I think.
I could probably do that, man.
Well, that's just a guess. That's a number that popped in my head. Don't make a date of it, you know. you asked, I'd take a guess.
So that means there's no cannabis church that day. That's a Sunday. Well, I'll have someone open up the
Listen,
church.
If there's 2 or more people gathering there,
Yes,
you smoke a joint,
that's it.
talk about God.
It's church.
It's church. All right?
That's it.
For real, I'm not being, facetious.
Well, I asked Shelby
Whoa,
this
look at
week.
that. He's waving up a storm, Ratari is. You've done a good job on this one, man.
I like this one. He's tight. He's tight against the thing here.
Oh, okay. A
That's
sign.
key.
I got to get a better picture of that. He's holding up signs with his feet.
Yeah. You didn't see that?
That's crazy. I got to get a picture.
How did you not notice that?
It's so cute.
That was the first thing I noticed when I sat there.
Ratari's really multitasking today. Ratari's really doing a lot for us. He counts for like 25 people today, Ratari. 3 sign holders and about 20 people that Ratari's worth. You can move that tent out of the way for if it's ugly and if it's in your shot. Or you can get us in the shot. He doesn't care about us. He don't care. Ratari, I tell you, it's like a funnel. Everybody comes down this way. Nobody's coming from that way. They're all coming from this way because the parking garage is down there. And usually they're going down here to go in, and then they can't. And it's great. This is the best thing ever. I just saw the new Sheriff Davis. So Sheriff Davis won the primary. Or Mayor Davis, sorry. And Jay Coffey, former mayor of Oceanport and city attorney for Bayonne. He's a really great guy. We love Jay. I saw his flowing locks from miles away. He has great hair. And I saw it from like 20 miles from here. I saw him coming. I'm like, oh. And then I'm looking at the guy next to him, and I'm like, oh, that's Jimmy Davis. Whoa. Last time I saw Jimmy Davis, I was with Bong Holio. Literally, Bong Holio, like in the bong.
Where is he?
He's working today. Hong Kong for you, too. Hong Kong for home grow. Yeah, he's working in the hot weather. I don't know how he's doing it. He's doing it. God bless all you people working out there in the hot.
Well, today, if you worked out yesterday in the hot, you're talking about yesterday, today, while you're working. In the
Well,
hot.
yeah, today's actually way 20 degrees warmer, colder. Thank God. Yeah. State House, baby. CWA in the house. We love the CWA.
So, like,
Yeah. Communication Workers of America, and they're here fighting for affordable health care. That's right. We need affordable medicine. They need affordable health care. We need Medicaid. We need all these things that they're taking away from us.
So, like, what do you go in this store for?
Nothing. No, nobody going to see them.
Where are they going?
They're probably going to come back. You'll see them coming back. They'll read the sign. They'll say,
always.
they always come back. There's no way in there anymore.
Well, the signs, but, there's probably somebody there that you could walk in and go, you got a special handshake or something.
Yeah, if you have the password.
Yeah, password.
You need the password. The secret handshake or the password.
Yeah.
Yes, see. Yeah, see, they didn't have the
Password's
password.
Ladybug.
You got the password is Ladybug. Ladybug is the password. Hey, how are you? Right here's the new entrance. Yeah, right there. You're welcome. Brandy new entrance. Like just
so
just
like
put up.
if I were her, my question would be then why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell them that? Well, are they delivering something?
Should we tell them that the door's closed? Should we start telling people that the door's closed? Because they're going to be walking back with all that boxes. Like those boxes are heavy. You should just walk back here.
The door by the fountain is not open.
That door's closed. Oh, boy. All right.
Okay, we got to get them walking in.
I think we have to catch them walking in now.
Get like a
Let me.
little slingshot with something that wouldn't hurt to get their attention.
You can't go that way. This way. It does. It says go this way. State House straight ahead. I think it does. I'd really. And those poor people carrying the boxes, they should have. Yeah, it's going to say go this way. I tried to tell them, but they didn't hear us.
Lefty, pass that pen.
Oh, yes. I just packed it. I just packed it. Yeah, hit it 5 times. Hit the button 5 times. What does that sign say, Jim? Try to memorize that sign and bring it back to us.
Wait, I think I just turned it off.
What does he try? I see him saying it. What does he say? He's repeating himself. The sign, he's repeating it over and over. So he's going to have it when he gets here. We'll find out what the sign says right about now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Capitol Complex visitors entrance.
An arrow? Or is it an arrow?
Yeah, arrows straight up.
Straight up. Oh.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody looking up? Did you look up? Did you see anything up above you? I don't see anything.
No, the sky is not falling.
We tried to tell you that the door was closed, but you didn't hear us. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's carrying a lot of stuff there. Yeah, don't go down that way. The door's closed.
Some wax.
Yeah, don't go down that way. That door's closed.
Well, basically, then if you had
Go this way.
if you had a BB rifle and were really good and wouldn't miss, you could fire BBs at that, and they'd look at it to see what the noise is, and that'd be the sign.
We're gonna start telling people. We tried to tell you, but you couldn't hear us. Sorry. We're gonna start telling people not to go that way because it's locked, apparently, and nobody gets in that
The
way.
new entrance, yes.
Yes, there's a brand new entrance here, and I see a line here. So I don't know why there's a line, but there is always a line now.
Yeah, I got to warn you, I've never seen anybody leave.
Yeah, they're all going in, and no one's coming out. It's like a Pink Floyd video.
You check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Going into the meat grinder. The Trenton State House is a meat grinder. It really is.
Where do you think Trenton gets his meat from?
You want your
What's the deal with this?
you either have to hit it once and hold it, or just hit it once and hold it
No,
and enjoy the fun wax. This is fun wax, not earwax, not candle wax, not carpet wax. Is there carpet
Not
wax?
beeswax.
Car wax. Not it's
Not turtle wax.
not turtle
so
wax.
there's no visible exhale. I don't. Is it working?
What do you mean?
I hit it and held it.
What are you saying?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm living in the twilight zone. Okay, that's it.
Try it again. All right. He's hitting the pipe. He's smoking
he's
the
hitting
pipe.
it.
I
see
see
smoke.
vapor coming out of the pipe. Jim is exhaling vapor out of his mouth. Jim is about to cough. Jim is getting stoned.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1. Jim Stone.
How you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel now, sir?
Honk honk for home grow. Yeah, baby. Honk for home grow.
Yeah, that was like skipping a few floors on the way up.
Yeah, this will take you right to the top floor, penthouse. Boop. This is penthouse weed. That's what they should call a strain, penthouse.
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top. Takes you right up there. You skip all the other floors, you get right up. But you want to hit all those terps on the way up, too. You want to hit all the terps, but then get to the top. This is pretty terpy.
So I went to a dispensary in Lakehurst.
You can't go that way.
That entrance isn't open.
That entrance
Gotta
is
go this
closed.
way.
Even deliveries. All right.
That entrance is closed.
See you in a minute.
All right, see you in a minute.
Tried to warn him.
Now we tried. Now we're trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to be helpful, and nobody's listening to us. See? This is how they must
Now, when they come back,
You know what? I think they
yeah,
thought we were pointing to the sign.
yeah, but we need to be on the high road on the way back, and not like because there's a lot of jokes we could make.
I know.
But
that would be nice.
that's what the see in a minute was for.
I would like some of whatever they're selling. Oh, they're setting up. Oh, they're setting up a protest.
You have a permit though.
I have the permit. Do they have a permit?
Well, they can't. You have one.
I have the permit.
They have to.
As long as they're not loud, I don't care. But
I know, but
what are they doing over there?
I don't know.
I see them unpacking a lot of stuff. Oh boy. Shh. Oh boy, they're unpacking. Oh man, I should turn the camera on. Yeah. Well, oh no, they're hanging. They're staying. They're staying. They're staying. They have video equipment. I see a light bag. That's a light bag. Look like water, snacks, cooler. Is that a cooler?
Shall I go over and be good neighbor and say you're allowed?
Just wondering what they're doing. They're putting water into the coolers.
No, we have no problem, but they should at least know that if the state police ask them, do you have a permit, that you say that it's okay with us, you're part of us, and you can, in other words, we want them to stay, right?
I don't know. They don't listen to us.
Well, let me go see.
They don't listen to us, Jim. Yeah, Jim's a good neighbor. I have a feeling they're just reloading to move stuff in this. I think they're just repositioning their stuff. It looks like. I don't know if they're setting up. I don't know. Look at that. Look at that.
There's a trick question with this thing now.
What's going on? It looks like he's leaving it. They're walking away. Oh yeah, Jim, you're right. They unloaded it.
Anyway,
is the CWA coming down here?
Maybe.
Ooh, the CWA's coming down here. We got to get a blunt ready. Last time the CWA was here, you know what happened. That was fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
I got one wrap left, and I'm going to roll it up. Here we go. For the CWA, Cannabis Workers of America, CWA. Oh, communication, sorry. But we like cannabis, so the Cannabis Workers of America.
we are the CCP, the Cannabis Cough Podcast.
Yeah.
Cannabis Cough.
I'm going to roll up a blunt just for the CWA.
For my whole life, coughing meant when you'd say, "Oh no, I got a cough,"
If you don't cough, you don't get off.
you'd want to make sure. But now you cough, at least closer to the pandemic, people look at you, and you'd have to say, "Just smoke some pot,"
Yeah, no, I'm just a weed cough, just a weed cough. It's COVID. It's got COVID.
Hey, no, bro.
COVID cough.
You would think a cough cast would have a mute button. When I'm on a podcast, sometimes it's a race for the mute button because I know the cough is about to come, and it's as simple as like turning it off with the mouse. But something happens, and I almost knock my glass over, and I get back and I cough too soon. Yeah, it's like I tend to make everything a game. I hear what I'm saying, but it gets me through. I really kind of like the look, Basically, there's a lot of people doing exactly what we're doing right now, sitting around, talking about stuff, breaking a few buds, getting high. And, all positive stuff, not just nonsensical. And, but doing it out here.
It's productive.
It's just to be there because, there are legislators that if they bother to look out windows that, aren't shielded from the sun. Yeah, there's a committee room. That's a committee room right on the end here. And fourth floor is the one where a lot of what we go to. So that's why the sign facing that way. And that's why the sign's here facing that way. And if that's all you can do, it's all you can do. It's not a tough gig once it's set up.
It's not bad at
No,
all,
it's not,
This is nothing.
Oh no. And now there's that sign truck guy right down there.
That is great.
He's got an 8-hour gig for, I guess it's the union thing going on.
Uh-huh.
Right, yeah. So did you see the sign truck?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it up close. He put it up on his phone though. And that truck could be like riding back and forth, but he's just going to be good with them parked there. That's good.
Yeah.
But it gave us an idea, did it not?
Oh, yeah.
Drive around Senate President Scutari's block with whatever sign we like.
Right.
Hold on. Hello.
Hi, this is Teresa from Dr. Galderi's office. I'm calling to, first of all.
Yeah, please. Oh, that's funny. I thought we were going to have to listen to some medical history. Yeah, it's like fishing. He has to answer the phone.
Yeah.
So the first one was a really beneficial call. I thought he'd like pull a rabbit out of a hat on that. But then, you that means you got to take the call and bring the average down,
Yeah.
That's why they don't count like batting averages the first week. It could be just a fluke, 1 for 2.
I'm waiting on my doctor.
1 for 2 with that.
That was my dentist.
That's okay. We don't want to know.
No, I'm gonna get need an implant. I need an implant, and I have to get an implant for my mouth. So I'm gonna get it.
That'll be good.
And a cleaning. Take care of your teeth. If you ignore them, they'll go away.
Oh, that's a good one. I
Why
tell
it's
you,
windy out
we have a pretty sturdy. It's a good wind here, and it's at the edge. I got a wrench on top of those papers. Take one. If somebody takes one, they're going to take them all. There was a podcast once here. Actually, it was back in front of the actual state house, and there's a lot of people and tables and things. Enough that you would hear a rustle when a wind came in. It would be like a call for papers to blow, and they'd blow down the street, and that's like litter and all. And you'd almost have to get a head start. You hear the wind, and I'd get a head start so I could get ahead of it and then be out on the road and pick them up as they tried to blow by.
Right.
We've got a tent halfway tumbling over to the road one day. That's not bad for 11 years. This is the 11th. Well, things have progressed during that time. I mean, you can't say it hasn't. But the main missing ingredient is access financially. It's legal, but if you can't get it because you can't afford it, you're left behind. Uh-oh, signage.
The signs are flying away. Here comes the wind. And I'm rolling a big fat blunt. This is my CWA blunt. Rattari let us down. As usual. As usual, Rattari failed. Rattari, you failed again. Rattari failed. All right, this is going to be a fat one if I can ever get this thing on here. Let's get this on there. Yep. There we go. All right. So New Jersey State House is super busy today. There's a lot of people here. There was a line before to get in, which was amazing. And they had all walk past Rattari. So they'll read all the signs that we have out here, which is pretty amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we're getting our message out there to people. Regardless whether they're doing anything about it, we're getting our message out there. And we're meeting people. This is what's great about the State House. Mayor Davis, Mayor Coffey were both here. Well, City Attorney Coffey, but he was mayor for many years in Oceanport. Very cool guy. And he was here with Mayor Davis, doing some Bayonne business, I'm sure. I should have asked him what they're doing here. I forgot to ask him. I knew they're busy. I'll ask them when they come out. So what are you guys doing here? There's a lot of stuff happening because they're all going on vacation in July. The State House is going to be dead. We'll still be here, but this place will be dead. But not on July 10th. On July 10th is Cannabis Patient Awareness Day. That is Thursday, July 10th. We're going to be here at the State House. We're going to be at Mad Hatter at 420 doing a podcast from the Mad Hatter. There's going to be some kind of crazy stuff going on up there. I don't know what yet, but there's going to be something happening outside and inside at the Mad Hatter on 710. Cannabis Patient Awareness Day. 710 is oil upside down, and patients need oil. They need fully extract cannabis oil for what their needs are. Fully extract cannabis oil can be made very easily, but we need a lot of it. You pretty much need a pound of weed a month for a patient to live on RSO. For a cancer patient to have the correct dose, which is about a gram a day for 90 days. That's the dosage I hear. It's a gram a day for 90 days of fully extract cannabis oil. And people have, this is what Jeff started doing. Jeff was not a pothead at all. And he was going through chemo, going through all kinds of stuff. And he started the fully extract cannabis oil, and it helped his recovery. They gave him 4 months to live. They gave Jeff Oakes 4 months to live, and he lived for 4 years because of the oil. They did not factor in cannabis oil into his therapy. For somebody without cannabis, yeah, you might have 4 months, but with cannabis, it's going to extend your life. It might even cure you. It might even cure you. It might even put your cancer in remission. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've heard anecdotal evidence from other patients how cannabis helps cancer. But doctors can't say the certain things. If a doctor comes out and says oranges cure cancer, they'll get shut down. They'll ban the books. They banned a bunch of books. They shut those guys down. They sued them for saying all kinds of stuff that's actually true. You should be eating oranges and grapefruits and stuff like that if you have cancer.
That's a good point. My dad, he used to work for Hoffman and Roach back in the 80s, and he always said that there was a cure for cancer in every stage, for every form, just not released by the FDA because overpopulation. It's just another way of crowd control.
Eat your fruits and vegetables.
Don't even believe that anymore.
Yeah, that's they're probably poison too as well now. GMO.
Some were even probably cloned.
Jim, you giving up? You tapping out? You tapping out with the signs? Under his feet. You gonna put the sign under his feet? They're gonna blow away? I'll get the next one. I'll get the next ones that go flying. Because those are good signs. Yeah, that one there, that's a great one. I found that one. I know you didn't know I had that one. I had that one. What does it say? Medical marijuana patients are what?
Medical marijuana patients
Are dying to grow what they can't afford. Medical marijuana patients are dying to grow what they can't afford. That's a sign that has to be out here today. I want people to read that sign. I want Rattari to represent all these signs that we have out here because these are all super important signs to read. 342 co-sponsors enabled the Scartari blockade. You shouldn't have trusted me. You shouldn't have trusted Rattari. Rattari's about to make it illegal again for patients to use cannabis, to buy cannabis illegally. I like that one too. Put it over here. I'll just grab it. No, that might blow away. That one's going to blow away. That one's gone. Oh, we can put that one. Yeah, there you go. Disability rights are human rights. Disability rights are human rights. Disability rights. Oh, the Jim? I can't believe it. He's on top of it, though. He's on top of it. Jim is the master sign maker. If you need a sign for an event or a protest, oh, there I go. I said I'd get it. Okay, you're host of the show. Ready to go. You're the host.
Lefty's trying to catch signs. They're flying all over the place. The wind is crazy. What are you doing? There you go. Now he's got the signs positioned, stabilized, windproof.
We'll see.
hurricane proof, tornado proof,
We'll see.
whirlpool proof,
For how long?
earthquake proof.
For how long, we don't know. William Haney in the house. Hi, William Haney. William Haney. Huh. 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 I love Haney. Haney's going to do an auction for Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I should have draped it up, but that's all right. Whatever. You can't step on that connector. It's a bad.
I didn't even see it.
I know. I should tape. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just something wrong with it. You should be able to step on it, but there's something wrong with it.
Actually, though, yeah, I got some mats I could bring. I mean, just for general wires too.
I
Yeah,
can't
mats I could bring for general wires. You should get them.
Yeah. They have that at the studio.
Alright, I gotta get going, guys.
Oh,
okay, brother.
May needs me to get home.
Yeah, thanks for filling things out, man.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. You know.
Do you have a bud I could get by chance?
That was actually almost the last time I weed there.
Yeah, hold on. a
Hold on,
second.
Jim might have something. I could probably give you some wax.
I don't.
You have no way of smoking wax. I have wax. I can give you some wax.
Yeah, I don't have a rig.
I need to re-up on my weed too. I don't have any weed myself. That's my issue today. This is my last blunt, and then I have some wax that I'm going to smoke. You want some more?
That wax is delicious.
Yeah, have some more of that. Yeah, I need to. If oh, there you go. If anyone has weed, let me know because I need some weed today. I'm coming to see you. Anyone watching?
You need some weed for Dover.
Yeah, I need weed for Dover. Actually, I think I'm going to go to the Mad Hatter. After this, I'm going up to the Mad Hatter. I'm going to get some weed at the Mad Hatter.
Don't let that blow away.
I'm going to get that blunt fatter at the Mad Hatter. I'm going to buy some shatter at the Mad Hatter. Maybe some batter at the Mad Hatter. And I'm going to go to the food truck and get my shirt splattered at the Mad Hatter. Make myself fatter at the Mad Hatter.
You see, transferring a bud from one adult to another is in the bill that we are
legal.
allowed to do it.
Legal.
And I'm a firm believer we should do it more whenever we can. So thank you for the opportunity, but appreciate you sitting down with us
Yeah,
today, man.
thanks, brother.
Filled it out nice.
Say
you
hi
know?
to Dan. All right, well, say hi to Dan for me. Yeah, tell him we love him. There you go. There you go.
I miss going to Weedman's with Danny.
Oh my
We
goodness.
used to go to Weedman's all the time and just and eat so many edibles and smoke so much weed,
Yep.
eat so much food.
Oh yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
I miss it, and especially miss seeing him here at Sativa Cross in front of the State
Oh.
House.
I know. I hope he's doing better.
He's all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, brother. I
Um,
love that shirt, by the way.
maybe one day I can get him. Maybe one day in the next month or two, I can get him to come up and say hi and just to reminisce.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be out here at 4th Thursday of the month. Every month, except for 7/10.
I'll see what I could do.
Nice. See if he'll come out 7/10. Cannabis Patient Awareness Day. All right, brother. Cannabis Patient Awareness Day. 7/10, which is oil.
How did my cord from this grow shorter?
How did you get over there?
Well,
What happened?
it's like hung up on something. But it's also
Oh,
hung up-
wow. What's going on over here? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Here, you host the show. Ready, go.
No, this tent just jumped up too. We don't want to have the camera going up and down, up and down, up and down. Seriously, it looked like that jumped up, and it could be my imagination. It is a bit of a wind tunnel because there's no no real cross streets and nothing below 3 stories tall all the way down the road. All this time and you don't.
All right, we're unmuted. Okay, Rob has weed. All right, I'm coming up, Rob. Rob, you want to go to the Monster Mile with us? The Monster Mile just called us and they said we're allowed to smoke cannabis as medical patients at the Monster Mile. So I think Jim might go. We're going to get a bunch of people to go to the Monster Mile.
Yeah, I'm a long shot.
Oh, come on. Let's go smoke weed at the Monster Mile. Rosie said we can do it. Let's go meet Rosie. Let's go to the Monster Mile.
Well, no,
Go to smoke some weed.
She did clear that up, and she talked to who would know, and you have that to go on with, and her name to drop. So it kind of would be. You would be doing the people that patrons quite a favor.
I'm telling you.
Now, what you need to know, though, is Delaware a state that recognizes.
Yes. They recognize our cards there.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you're good. I mean, whether or not you buy any there, you bring your own, you're good.
Yes. I'm excited.
See, that is good to know.
And I got permission from Rosie. Rosie said I could smoke.
Well, at least it's known now. So basically, we can get in touch with Zoe and make sure she knows.
Yeah, I'll tell Zoe I'm coming to Delaware. Let's go to meet at the Monster Mile and smoke some weed.
Well, they should know that is the ruling.
Yeah.
You just got a ruling for a major venue in Delaware.
Yes.
And she should know. Otherwise, somebody's going to say, how do you feel about that? And then she's going to, be caught short.
Yeah.
People look to her for the information, not you about Delaware. That's good, though, because Delaware is, I feel like we owe them because they make their bad decisions modeled after
We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry, Delaware.
Yeah,
we apologize.
We were the cancer, and we've extended across the state line.
Such ignorance.
It jumped the border. Same, I don't know. What about Pennsylvania? Not so much. I don't know how that. I don't know.
I'm going to the Monster Mile. Going to smoke some weed.
And you made it about cannabis for a cannabis themed podcast too. But you also showed how you can take advantage of it. Something that just comes your way.
That made my day. You have no idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going, but I said, nah, it's a long ride.
Yeah, okay, well, normally what we experience is we look up and we see somebody, and it's just who we want to see. What do we do from that exact instant, And we've come to be pretty good about that. But this wasn't like looking up and seeing somebody.
I'm 2 for 2 this year, by the way. I caught, who's the other guy I caught a few weeks ago? Who was the guy I caught that was walking? Yes. Who was the politician we saw that was walking around here that one day? Oh, it was Coughlin.
Yeah.
Coughlin.
Oh, yeah.
I caught him. Before you. Usually you're the one that sees them all.
Well, that's the teamwork, though. I had something to give him. Yeah. Hey, that's right. You did say you'd get a man of your word. My other sign's holding up pretty good with that win, though. I got to make sure that tent is secure.
Let's see how long that stands there for. Oh, there it goes. Jim, can you? I'm on your way back. On your way back. Maybe I should tape it. Maybe we should tape those. It's such a nice little spot for him. It really is. It's cute. It's cute that his feet are holding up protest signs, as well as his hand. Bro, no problem with the hand. He's got the hand holding that sign all day, without tape, with no tape. He's holding it. It's amazing. Come to the Monster Mile. Come on, Rob, we're going. Rob, I'm driving you. I'm driving 2.5 hours. It's a 3 blunt ride. Hey, did I tell you I got pulled over on the way here? I got pulled over for the first time in like 15 years. The first time, literally, I haven't been pulled over in like 15, maybe 20 years. Since I was in my 20s, probably. And I'm doing 75. I got my cruise control set for 75, and I'm in the truck lanes. And I'm passing trucks doing 75. I'm going with the flow of traffic. The cop pulls me over. State trooper. I was like, oh, man. I had to make sure I had nothing, illegal going on. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I'm good as far as that. Because if you have cannabis in the car, you have to have it locked up in the back. So my cannabis was in the back, which was good. So the cop pulls me over and he says, yeah, I caught you speeding there. I'm like, hey, I said, I wasn't going that fast. I was doing like 75. I said, I had my cruise control set for 75. I said, people are passing me on the right. I said, I'm sorry. I apologize. I said, I'm sorry. He says, all right, he checked me out, check out my license. Came back to the car. He says, okay, Lefty, I know who you are. Step out of the car. Yank me. No, I'm kidding. He says, all right, oh, there you go, Jim. That's beautiful. Oh, wow, what a wind gust, too. What a test. No, the cop let me go. He gave me a warning and said you can go because I was literally doing 75 in the lane. I was not speeding like crazy. Like, you're allowed to do 10 over. You're allowed to do 14 over. Usually the cop will not stop you for 14 over. You start doing 80, 81, you probably should get pulled over. But I was doing 75. I was actually taking it easy. But let me tell you something. I've never seen so many cops pulling people over today. They're trying to get all their quotas in before summertime break because I saw about 7 or 8 people pulled over today on the road on here, which was crazy. The most I've seen before is like maybe 2 on a trip to Trenton. There was like 6 or 7 today, people getting pulled over on the way here. Now, granted, people drive like crap. All you people drive like crap in Trenton. All of you. I got to tell you, you all drive too fast. You drive in the fast lane too slow. You drive in the slow lane too fast. No, I can't take you drivers anymore. You'll give me Road Agita.
Is it their Trenton drivers or Jersey drivers?
Jersey drivers on the Turnpike, on the Parkway, on 22, on 287, on 24, at 78. It's absolutely insane what you drivers are doing out there. There was a guy this morning, zip, in and out of traffic.
Yeah.
In and out, like it was a race car.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? And we're doing 80. Some of them are doing 80. We're just driving, and he's driving doing like 110. What are you, nuts?
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's part of it.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I'm not a slow driver, but man, take it easy. I don't I'm a very assertive driver, so when they try to pass me on the right like that, I make sure they don't have room. I don't give them the room. I know you do. I don't give them the room. You go around that way. You find another way around because you ain't getting in front of me like that. You ain't cutting me off. No, they'll cut me off and they'll make me slam my brakes on. No, I'm done slamming my brakes. No, you deal with I'll tailgate the guy in front of me to keep someone from passing me. I'm a jerk. I'm bad. I ain't dealing with getting cut off by you crazy drivers out there.
You feel the need to actually have to say that twice?
Yes. I'm angry. I had road rage coming here. Road agita. Excuse me. Road agita.
Yeah.
Little blue balls.
I don't know. It's I try to control that. I'm getting better at it. I mean, I'm going the right way. No, I understand. I do. You know, but you know what? It's like there's few pleasures in life. I go to Tom's River all the time. Now, on the way there, there's like one place where if you get a red light and you're about to be stopped for a while, it's also a Dunkin' Donuts where you can drive in slow and exit out the other side because there's really nothing there, and get on through it. So when somebody starts pulling moves, and they get that red light, I kind of honk as I go in there slow, point at them like a gun, and then I ride out the other way, and then I ride up, and the lights are timed, so you can go right back the other way long before he gets to go through. See, that's fun, and it's nice, and it's not angry. But also on the way back on Route 37, where it's leading back out to where it intersects with on Route 70. Yeah, you go by Leisure Village is a retirement thing, and when that light is red, you can kind of go in, but you don't actually go in. There's a turnaround where you just come out on the other side of the light. I mean, it's not even illegal, and you don't have to go fast. So again, it's when somebody's at that light, and I don't know. And yes, as you're heading west on Route 70, crossing Route 571, should you get going east, you get the red light, you can make the right turn there and then make your very first left turn. It's real quick, and it comes right back out where, you're over the horizon and everybody's, and it's only like, it's not, I never actually hurry. It's just kind of fun. It breaks up the same old drive all the time. Yep.
I had an aunt and an uncle in that place for many years. They had the in-ground sprinklers. They had all this fancy stuff. My Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny.
That's such a cool name,
Johnny. Uncle Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. Yeah, really. It's the way people talked in the 40s and 50s. You gumshoe.
I like the old names that they used to have, like Harriet, Beatrice, Heloise.
There's a lot of, like Helen. Helen's still around.
Helen.
Agatha.
That's a good one. Myrtle.
Minnie
and Myrtle. Now we name our animals that. Now we name our pets those names. Hey, go feed Minnie and Myrtle.
Minnie the Moocher, Calloway. Now, that man was pro-cannabis publicly his whole life.
So the copyright ran out on Mickey Mouse. They made
when?
I guess it's 100 years.
No, I mean, when did it run out?
Like, after 100 years. So it was like this year, 2025 or 2024. So it was 100 years old, and now the public can do what they want with Mickey Mouse. So
but that starts Steamboat Willie.
Now they made Screamboat Willie, where they got Mickey Mouse killing people on a boat. They ruined my childhood.
They can do that.
They did that, and they ruined my childhood for me because I used to love Mickey Mouse. Now I'm watching them. Like, come on, what you just?
So somebody else
ruined it for me.
Somebody else can't buy the rights to it somehow.
Well, it's I guess.
Or is it just out there in the wind now? Everybody can use it.
I guess anyone can use it.
Well, the commercials that are overplayed with any one song, but you have one commercial. You can't have 5 notes in a row exactly the same cadence, but you can have 4. So that's why Jim Morrison went da 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 at the end of his song, which was Stronger Than Dirt, in Ajax. And even so, because it was only 4, it wouldn't have been. So it was a double screw you. But there's something else on. It's not going to come to me right now. It's a commercial, and it's like 4 notes going up, and when it comes down, it becomes a song. Now you have an intro song that has a really, really catchy. Was that something that he sampled, like that whole that da 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 da?
No, that's live. That's live music.
Yeah, but who owns the rights to that? Because you would always recognize da 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 da.
Now you would. It's
I hear it in my sleep.
it's just one of the guys passed away, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 of us left, and there's not monetized. There's no money. There's no contract. It's just anybody can use that too. But we'll sue you if you use it. But you can use it. But we don't have a. There's nothing like in
Why
writing.
don't you job it out, to somebody for a minor amount of money? Here's our intro, and it's really catchy, and you can use it to any extent you want with permission. But I need this,
Well, they'd have to be a lefty.
No, I mean, a like-minded sort of person, not somebody promoting a product you would never buy. It's just you could monetize that.
Yeah.
You don't have money.
We have no money. Well, thank you for donating to Sativa Cross for your birthday.
Well, I didn't.
Happy birthday, by the way.
No, nobody donated except Sue, because she always does.
That big amount?
No. Well, how much?
I saw 175.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't check. I was.
175.
Oh, you know what? I put up how disappointed I was. I wasn't using it like social media.
Let's do it.
I was just saying what I want is people to pledge to Sativa Cross that they will have birthday fundraisers. I try to set the example. If you never have one, you don't have to do anything.
No, hit one button.
Yeah, and help them do it, and that's the best support anybody can give,
Yes.
because they're not going to do it for themselves. It's their birthday.
It's very helpful to us. It really
But
is.
so then we need to promote that. We got to let's work on a way to extend that to the masses. Because I've done it 3 times. First one was like 235. Second one was like 135. I don't even remember. It's not large amounts, and they take out $1.11 per donation. So people like Brother Rick donates like $21.11, and it takes time to get too. I mean, if you need it for something coming up, it's not gonna. It could take a couple months, so it sucks like that. But eventually, it comes up. I got to check that out.
Yeah, we still have $75 waiting for a check to clear. So because PayPal does it. But we
Yeah.
don't use PayPal anymore because they stole money from us. So we wait for the check to come from, which could take weeks, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Well, forget about it. Don't like it doesn't. Forget about it. Like it doesn't exist. Let's see what we got here.
Senator Scutari. Get out of Senator Joe Vitale's way. Let him post medical cannabis home grow bill 1393 for an informational hearing.
Say that again.
Senator Scutari, get out of Senator Joe Vitale's way. Let him post medical cannabis home grow bill S1393.
I thought you were reading
for
that
all
off your-
informational.
Okay, no. I thought you're looking right over your screen, and I hear you saying that. I'm thinking, man, that sounds familiar. What's See that? Okay, now that's one for the away team. This is one of the side effects. Something like this might happen to you if you smoke and get high. The thing is, if you learn to embrace it rather than feel embarrassed, it becomes your own entertainment. It's not like you strive for it. So it's just like a cycle of enjoyment.
You're like, I know that. That's familiar.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where did I see that before?
Yeah. Well, you got used to with Brother Rick describing things in that way. It's like, man, that's one for the away team, but it's only a single. And a little while later, picked him off first, meaning he did something really beneficial.
Yeah, he got you back.
You know how how we would mark whether or not we had a good day working together all those years, because cannabis was part of the workday just to keep you in the workday. Nobody ever got hurt. Can you believe that? It's true. But, it would be, you could just pace yourself. You could forget, you could enjoy. And we ended up getting like really smart about it, like actually interested in the mundane. Because no matter what you do, okay, do you ever change your system when you shower? In other words, is it the exact same? Okay, start the hair, do that, left shoulder down, the arm down. Yeah.
Yes,
No, I don't.
I do.
I've been experimenting. Now, the only downside is sometimes you leave with soap under your balls still when you're drying off. And so I forgot because I did that for. But actually, I don't know.
I thought taking a shower with my wife would be a sexy experience.
Oh, no.
But I wound
No.
up shivering in the corner, passing her soaps.
Oh.
Shivering in the corner, passing her soaps and lotions. That's a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No,
That's a joke. That's an old joke. If you ever heard that one.
Then I won't mention a comparable joke from when I first got married to not somebody other than Cheryl when I was 22. I couldn't believe how hot somebody would take a shower. It's like, whoa! Yeah, there's nothing exciting about that.
Comes the wind.
Yeah, that I got a brick on the. One
Another
got
brick in
away.
the rat.
Look, one got away.
Another brick in the rat.
The one got off.
Where is it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it there. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm done getting.
We're good. I'll get the next one.
Right. He's just Terry's just being a bitch now. He's like shaking this stuff off. It's kind of funny that he can do it.
He's holding the sign like a champ, though.
That one, and he's waving with the other hand.
Yeah.
I love that look. He looks so friendly,
He does look friendly. It's a friendly rat.
Yeah. I mean,
So appropriate that CWA is here. Hey,
What?
William Haney, what's this? What's up with screen connection? Oh, geez. William, no screen connection? What do you mean? You can't see me?
Can you see?
That must be you, William, because I don't have great connection here. You're right, but I do see myself. If you can't see me, let me know. Hong Kong for home, grow. That was a cop. Hey, if you can't see me, let me know in the chat because I can see me.
Maybe they don't want to see you.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm just checking. Anyone said it? No, nobody's complaining except William. So, William, I'm going to think that it's your computer, your connection. Although my connection is not that great. I have one bar here, which is not good. But we have bars here.
How do you know one bar is not half a bar?
Well, we have full bars here.
Which end of the bar it's on?
I still want to call back the Monster Mile and ask him how long the track is. I missed my opportunity. I'm so upset about that.
Well, it's called the Monster Mile.
Yeah. We should just call anyone.
No,
Just call them. Say, how long is the track? How long is the Monster Mile? They'll say, well, it's about 3 or 4 hours long. No, how long?
How long is the Monster Mile
It's
track?
the distance of the track. Does she speak?
Is 1 mile in length, according to NASCAR.com.
1 mile.
Now, how long did it take me, a computer dinosaur of 73 years?
I don't believe it.
You got an answering machine right here.
Believe it. I think it's off.
Now, remember when I so eloquently thought the Monster Mile was named after it being a mile, and you offered it could be a half mile
No,
or
it's
1.1.
I think it's 1.1.
You could be right,
They do
we live in a world where no matter what anybody says, you could still be right.
the earth is flat.
Just say it another way and go with it.
The flat earthers make me nuts. Sorry, they just do.
Man, I feel like this tent's going to take... Well, it's weird how the wind does get funneled around here, though.
I didn't spike that one down.
Okay, yeah, I put a one of them brick on it.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been going up and down since. It wasn't that much on it.
I did. Yeah, I should have put a stake in
Well,
it.
that's the lead one. The other one's been pretty still. What's going on,
Hey
man?
guys. CWA in the house. Communications Workers of America, also the Cannabis Workers of America. That's us. We're the cannabis workers.
Yeah. We're coughing workers.
We're the coughing cannabis.
NBCCA. Now you're getting off in uncharted territory.
We're the cannabis wheezers with asthma.
Yeah, you got to work on that. Something is a good acronym, you know, add it to.
CWA, Cannabis Wheezers Association.
You know, when you look out, I mean, here we are. Sometimes over the last 11 years, man, a lot has changed here. I mean, the whole physically changed, you know, undergoing, after all 200 years being in that building, to go ahead and, but then it has its advantages, getting close to the road. Desensitizing cannabis use by being able to consume while we sit at the table legally. And if we make mistakes, it becomes viewing pleasure. I imagine there are people that the only reason they look at this podcast is because it's fun when the wheels go off. You never know what's going to happen, or more importantly, what's not going to happen. But I got to say, you know, showing up at the source, speaking truth to power as it would be, there's something comforting about that on a day like today. We're just sitting here hanging out, getting high, talking.
Smoking weed. Hello, Jim from Silver Lake Nursing Home. Just checking in with Sativa Cross. Okay, William, can you see us? I hope you could see us, William. Because everyone else can see us. Let us know if you can't see us, please.
And
I'm even checking on Instagram.
And to Jim, if there's any point of view you want us to represent, send a note, and we can talk about just about anything having to do with cannabis. I almost tried to end up being Forrest Gump with that. I don't know why. I'm in a mystery to me.
Just checking the chat here. Okay, we're good.
It's one of my best lines. I got favorite lines in movies I like. You know, Tropic Thunder.
Oh,
Robert Downey Jr. was being an Australian playing a black guy, but he didn't like to break character. And in one scene, when the other guy's yelling, "You know you ain't black, don't you? Yeah. Why you keep talking like that?" I don't know. It's a mystery to me. I don't know why that humors me so much. You know, it was done so seriously, because sometimes I feel like that. You know, like, why do you do that? And I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
that movie was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a movie that's fun to watch more than once, and no matter where it is, you got a minute. You know, guys holding up a head. Hey, it looks real. Yeah,
CWA in the house.
yeah.
We love the CWA.
Well, I like seeing people showing up. You know, that's the first thing, showing up, and that's the whole spirit of a union. You know, it's literally a brotherhood, so to speak. You know, and there is a strength in numbers. I liked watching you know, sometimes I feel like I'm going to throw out an acronym for a union, and it's like a World Federation Boxing third number I didn't know, you know. WCCB. Oh, no, that's... But, you know, Hugh Giordano.
Hugh
From...
UFCW.
UFC. Doesn't it sound like a wrestling thing? UFCW? UFC... United Fighting Championship... UFCW.
UFCW champion.
Yeah, you know,
Giordano.
He was on the ball long before the fact. He was getting ready for what he does years before it was actually an issue to be dealt with. That was interesting. He would come to coalition meetings. I mean, a long time ago.
He came to council meetings.
Yeah, so that's why anybody that works with Hugh, ask them what they think, and you can tell by the expressions on their face, every word's gospel truth. He's the man. And then he does things like the first Thanksgiving thing we had. We were getting stuff here. He was the first one by with a couple of bags of really cool stuff for the people of Trenton. It only stayed a minute.
Sure did.
He covers all the bases. And that's not like for anything in return. It's how he is. It's you be like that. And
he's a helpful dude.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Always keep those helpful people near you. Always. Don't let go of the helpful people. Keep them around. There's helpful people out there. Just got to find them.
Yeah, usually accidentally.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's still nice to just, I don't know, run into somebody for a couple of minutes somewhere. You're never going to see them again. And have that kind of conversation that just is about nothing in particular. I remember things like the weirdest things. When I was coming out of Washington, I went there every Wednesday for 8 weeks, planning Cheryl's memorial with Normal and the Marijuana Policy Project and Students for Central Drug Policy and Criminal Justice Foundation, Eric Sterling, planning this and it really wore me down. I would usually go early and then lobby stuff, and then I'd end up by going to Normal's office and we have a conference call.
CWA, yes.
Showing up is where it begins.
Right. This is step one. Showing up is step one.
Yeah, it is, Setting a good example. So anyway, I'm driving out on North Capitol on the way out. It's like 3 lanes. It's moving, stop and go. It's hot. It's miserable. And this SUV next to me with a guy sitting in it started playing back in the USSR, and he was singing, and I was singing louder. And he looks over at me, and he's singing louder. And now we're like singing, and right about the time that I started going and his lane wasn't, it was always on my mind, and that was it, I forget what song a woman was humming at 6 a.m. getting coffee in a Wawa, and I started singing it a little bit, and she started singing it louder. And it's
gotta wake up.
Interact when you can,
CWA, yes.
Yeah, man. Showing up, that's where it starts.
That Wawa coffee really wakes you up in the morning. It makes you sing.
Yeah.
Quick Check too. Quick Check has good coffee. I think Wawa's might be better. I don't know. I haven't really. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts midnight guy, so I don't know.
I haven't bought coffee out but once in the last year and a half, and the time I did, I don't need to, I got to save money here and there, and the coffee I get from my own home is better than what I can get out.
What do you brew at home?
Oh, Kathy has a special mountain, some sort of mountain blend.
Mountain, Green Mountain?
No.
Really?
I don't know. It's like
want to call her and ask her?
We get like,
what strain of coffee do you use?
Good.
Need to know what strain. I need to know.
No, it's good strain.
Green Mountain is one of them. Or let me know. I want you to text me.
I will. I'll text you when I get back.
I love good coffee.
I'll send you a photo. Listen, man, you don't have to call and text. We can do all sorts of things with this thing I'm learning.
You could text her now and ask her.
I could ask a question. Should I? I'm surprised sometimes. Just. And then some of the simple things are hard to get.
I think that machine's broken. You got to go across the street. That one's done. Yeah. I only use that one. That one works right there. Yep.
I should have taped the sign to
it. You said you were gonna.
I know.
I'm kidding. You didn't do enough, Jim. You didn't do it all.
How could that possibly slip my mind? Oops, the tent's moving. Rat Tower is actually laughing at us today.
Shit. Oh, man.
I feel it. And yet, in any other situation, I look over and there you are, like seeing if it's still lit.
It's not. You want to light it? Good luck.
Yeah. You know, one time, I was at the normal offices in New York, actually, because Coalition for Medical Marijuana had a meeting there,
Okay.
and because we could, and there was like a jar that was used for not an ashtray, for the roaches, and they were long, and it was halfway filled, and I had nothing. You know, it was the kind of, I would think there'd be somewhere when where it is not against company policy to light one up in a board meeting, like in the old West, when two guys would sit down to deal, they'd pour a shot. You know, like in Deadwood,
Let's do some shots. Let's do some business.
Deadwood should be like light a joint.
Light a joint instead now. No more shots.
You know, I'll tell you, because it's statute of limitations.
Shot in a
and all
beer,
that.
shot in a beer, shot in a beer, puke.
I'll tell you, every word is true. Real quick story, but back in the days of Florida, yes, I had something to do with. I'll just say I knew someone. That would be me. Yeah, I knew someone, and had to do with like getting bales into mid Florida. Bales of cannabis.
Bales. What's a bale? How much is a bale?
Well, they were about 30 pounds. The ones I dealt with.
Oh.
And thing is, it was, you get it in because then it's all states, not federal, and then you market it. Now, not me. All I did was I had a van. Yeah. Well, I had a van. So, you know, and I'm not proud. It's something, I don't know why I would risk doing it, but it worked like a charm, you know. And, now I forgot what I was telling you. The son of a bitch. Okay,
The van. You're talking about the van.
yeah. Well, you know.
No.
I got it.
Went away?
No, it worked. No, it's a very easy, quick storyline. As quick as it goes there. Yeah, couldn't get rid of it all in a stash house after 6 days. So I had to move it down the turnpike as 1,800 pounds and go to a guy's house. He was connected. He was like a soprano connected in a nice, on a lagoon. Well, they call them a canal down there, you know. Really on a corner of a nice house, and he was exactly that demeanor. So he gets a good price. This is where my guy, I'm doing dump it, nothing for me. But I had the van. They had to go somewhere with it. Long story, much shorter. That left me with this guy, you know. And what am I supposed to talk about? You know, this guy's like, but he's being like real nice, and he says, "So Jimmy, I hear you like a good smoke." I go, "Yeah, I do." I think, "Oh, this is cool. No shots here," you know. And he comes back with a white T-shirt bundled up in about half a pound of really fine-looking buds, you know. And he rolls a big fat one, and we smoke it. Now I'm really high, and he's not talking business shit. He's talking, you know, it's like really kind of entertaining. And then he says, "So, you want another?" That was weird because, like, there's a guy that would get high like that, yet, you know, living on the other side of a line and doing pretty well at it. I don't know how it ended up with him. And it was marketable at about probably, right there, in about $100 a pound. About $100 a pound. Yes, I was young and I was stupid. Okay, I wasn't that young, but I was that stupid. Oh yeah, what it was on the way out. 1,800 pounds in a green Ford van, blankets over it in the back, and there's getting onto the turnpike to go south. There was a police checking cars going both ways. You know, now I didn't know. I don't know what the stop was. But the car in front of me, the car I'm with, guy reached out and gave me the okay sign. I'm like, "Yeah, what? I'm okay. I'm sitting here waiting with you." And then I see what it is. What they were telling me is, don't. So I was faced with that. And the guy, what they were looking for somebody, not individual, so being that I was by myself. But he did have to look back in and look at it, and I could smell it in its raw form, And he didn't seem to notice that. And I'm like, this is like really cool. So my license didn't have a beard on because I would cut it sometimes in Florida and then grow it back in New Jersey. I was going back and forth for a couple of years. And I'm like, look at me like this. I'm trying to hide my beard and all. So then when he said you can go, it was a clutch. And I stalled it driving away because my left foot was like shaking, all that. Anyway, I went into whatever it was there at IHOP, whatever, something like that. They were laughing in a booth, and I put the keys on that. So I'll hitchhike back, man. I am not driving. That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
1,800 pounds in a van.
Well, the thing is, now that's called some legacy work there. No, I was.
Yeah, you're a legacy. You're a legacy guy. You should get a job at a dispensary. You should own a dispensary or run a dispensary or own one.
No, I can't do that.
Legacy.
I can't do it. I'm not allowed to make money. Only a certain amount.
Yeah, me too. I'm nonprofit. I like it. I'm not even monetized on YouTube, so they can't take my shit down. They can't make me do nothing because I'm not monetized. So that's a plus. Because if you're monetized,
that's because you're doing things the right way.
Yeah.
And thanks for taking interest, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. You can take one of them papers if you want, because somebody might ask you about it, and you could take a couple and hand them out. My problem is I don't know how to get people going on this. So if I may be so rude to say thank you for anybody you can turn on to this, and
thank you,
a lot, man. Appreciate that. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
it's you get more benefit from interacting with people than legislators anyway.
Putting in the work today.
Yeah,
I said we're putting in work.
Yeah, this is work.
This is
come on.
Yes, I'd like to join here.
Well,
setting up and breaking down is work. It really is. That's work. It's a little work. A little bit. It's not even bad work. It's just fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's like going camping.
It is.
It's like going camping.
It is, because I know we both can tell ourselves it's like not even a body punch. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. We ain't got a knife. But we'll poke you when we can. And the thing is, to have one man to be the villain in any epic story, this is a Greek tragedy. The man that was patients' greatest hero, Senator Scutari, the godfather of medical cannabis, the one who got it done, who got home guard done for patients, and it wasn't his fault that it was taken out. The only thing he could have done then was say, well, no, I'm not taking it out. The bill would not have passed, and patients would have been illegal no matter how they got it then, till they got it done next time. He said he wanted to get patients off the battlefield, and I agreed. Needed legality, I mean, I'm not saying I was right, but I agreed. And then he actually said out in the hallway afterwards that, because there was lots of reporters there, and he was explaining how we could revisit home grow provisions in the future after program is up and running, is pretty much how he phrased it. So that was great. Patients had a hero, but we had to get the program off the ground. Years rolled by, and it took early 2020, early 2021, and Senator Singleton wrote the bill.
Chris says, sounds like something I read from Randy Lanier's book.
Yeah, so look, anyway, patients, when Senator Singleton wrote that bill, seriously, patients who were just morally, mentally demoralized, what do you mean? There's actually somebody finally wrote a bill, 2010, we can revisit it in the future. A decade later, still no bill written, a decade. To have that bill written was like patients felt it. Finally, somebody did something about it. Then it didn't get heard in a committee hearing. It was about 9 months, I think, of the year, the end of a legislative session. So you could almost understand it, but little did we know that Senate President Sweeney had a hold on it, meaning it wasn't going to get a hearing. But we don't know. I mean, we don't know if a bill passes into becoming law, you know. We aren't civics majors. So patients didn't find out for quite a while after the rejoice that, oh, wait a minute, Senator Sweeney got beat by a truck driver? Senate President's gone? Wow, good. Okay, because at that time, there were protests at his office about homegirl for adults, and patients. So, who's the next Senate President? Oh, my God. Nick Scutari, the hero? The one that got it done the first time? He's going to be in charge of the Senate. We're in. Patients thought they had their guy in, at the helm, ready to take over and make it happen. It was all there. It's everything he said. We could revisit it. And it took probably 7-8 months until we found out that the bill was not allowed to be posted. I don't know how it works. I mean, basically, it gets posted for a hearing. So if it gets posted for a hearing, Senate President can take it down. But the thing is, when you're from the same party, you know whether or not he wants it done. So you ask for it to be posted, or you say you'd like to post it. And actually, you don't say you'd like to post it. It's the sponsor of a bill, you know, knows that Senator Vitelli, the Senate Health Committee chairman, he's the one that has to post the bill. It's in that committee. So he has to ask. You know, it's more, so it's like Senator Singleton has to make it so Senator Vitelli can ask. But it doesn't matter. They both ask. They do. And it never happens. So, after all this time, I don't know that we've been doing some things wrong so much as we didn't recognize that it could go on this long. But once you get to a total of over 4 years, you know, I would be surprised. I think it would be somewhere around the lowest figure I can even say would be somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 patients gave up their patient status by dying. So they didn't live long enough to even see a bill get posted for a hearing. But to not post it for a hearing was demoralizing for patients. It was like, you're not even worth the information on how good this bill would be. We're not going to let that get out in whole. I mean, you could read the bill and come to a conclusion yourself, but other senators don't read everybody's bill, the whole bill. What they do is they see what happens in the committee hearing. You know, you listen to what goes on there, and that's where they get to get the best information they can. Where senators that from both sides of the issue get to ask real-time questions of people who testify on both sides of the issue. If you're against what a senator, you don't like what somebody's saying, you don't stop from saying it, you ask questions about what he's saying. So it balances it out. It's the best you're going to do for where to get information. So to stop the information from happening, as opposed to using the power of a Senate president to not allow the bill to be posted for a vote, he could stop the vote after the information. That's how it's supposed to work. But wait, that doesn't sound good, stopping a vote. Stop not allowing, having a hold on a hearing. Well, that sounds better, doesn't it? You know, and stop the vote. That sounds like totally undemocratic. But the thing is, preventing the bill from being heard is worse. It's kind of like censorship of information that fellow senators need to have, by definition, a well-founded opinion.
For sick, dying, and disabled people.
That's why this is Ratari. the greatest hero of patients, circled around and stabbed them in the back. And they didn't even know who it was. He stabbed 5 or 6 of them before anybody looked behind him. Man, he came up quick.
Some people still support him. They think that he's a champion.
I never explained it. Why?
He's our champion.
Why? But why? How does somebody not get into a corner with somebody to be able to press him as to why? What have you saved from happening? How have you protected New Jersey residents by this action? Is there something that you did save us from? What is it? And put that up against the harm being done to patients who can't afford their medicine, for one. Oh, he's not been forced into a corner. And again, I got to keep saying it over and over, his plan that he's actually articulated himself to Brianna Venozzi on Spotlight New Jersey, so there's video of it. And when pushed into a corner, he said that, well, what he'd rather do is have a very tightly controlled pilot program using only the sickest and most hurt patients.
Bubbles. How you doing, Bubbles? Yeah, how you been?
Yeah, you're smiling. I like that. You know, I take that to be a signal. Yeah. Yeah. We're not letting anything disappear as best as we can. We're having fun out here, actually more talking with people. They've done business today. They can see we're here gathering signatures. Yeah. It is nice being as close to the road as we are, close to the sidewalk. And we meet a lot of really good people walking by, and see some often enough. But it's, yeah, man.
I just smoked out Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles is going to be stoned in about 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah.
Hey, man.
We're still out here, man. I'm sorry we don't have wheelchair access today. Usually we'll have a ramp out here, but
right.
we don't have it today. We don't have it. I'm using it somewhere else, and I didn't have time to get it because they don't have access here. This is why. This is why we bring our own ramp.
But if you have a calendar, we are the 4th Thursday every month. So go on the calendar, mark it down, and say, hey, if you got to get out and about, come on by. And Lefty, I will almost guarantee, would have access right over the top of that little.
I'll bring it from now on.
Yeah.
It was used somewhere else, and I totally forgot.
But drive up service, you're like a drive through.
I can still bring up to you. I'll still get you stoned, bro.
Let me ask you something. Do you have any bud waiting for you when you get back where you're going? If you did, would you be using it?
Hell yeah, he says. Mr. Bubbles smokes. Mr. Bubbles loves to smoke. Bubbles! Oh yeah, don't shoot, get stoned. You have that one. That's right. Don't shoot, get stoned. That was one of my favorite ones. That's right. That was original. That was from years ago. Man, how many years ago was that? 6? That was even before COVID, I think. That was right before COVID, man. Oh, wow. But I've seen you after that, though, Mr. Bubbles. I've seen you since then. Yeah, I've seen. Nice. Jim's going to give Mr. Bubbles some weed. I don't know if you can see that. Jim is handing Mr. Bubbles some weed. All right. Yes. Mr. Bubbles is going to be a happy man. He'll have some weed to smoke. We all need some weed to smoke. So, I just downloaded this thing here. Let's see. Okay, I got ChatGPT here. I need to know information. How do I get information? Summarize, rephrase, close captions, summarize. How about summarize? No? Oh, it's giving me a tutorial here. I don't want a tutorial of Chat GPT. I never used this before. No, I don't want access. Shit. What did Rob send me? Rob, what are you sending me? Oh, come on. Rob, there's children here. Mr. Bubbles is here. You're going to offend Mr. Bubbles. All right, hold on. Oh, come on, Mr. We can't play that. No, Rob had fart spray yesterday. He had fart spray. He thought fart spray was funny. He's spraying chemicals at me. I'm like, yeah, bro, I thought he farted. He's like, I fart. I'm like, bro, you need to see a doctor. Your ass smells like chemicals. Your ass smells like chemicals, Rob. And then he said he had fart spray. I'm like, oh, great. Rob and a can of fart spray is dangerous. Oh. Oh, whoa, Rob. Rob, do you realize we're at the State House? That I can't play this kind of stuff? This is inappropriate. Really, Rob? That's awful. Mr. Bubbles, I see you, brother. Wow.
Yeah, this is like, well, you put in a burn.
You have no idea what just
Yeah, smell this.
What's that?
Well, you put in a burn.
Fart spray?
No, it's
Ooh, that smells good.
make your house smell like that. Like if you're smoking cannabis and
It's
you
like
want to mask it,
Citrusy.
a little like a oil burner. Is there? I believe he was saying.
You're a burner.
Oh, look at well, or it's sort of like says you can just kind of put it on something that'll smell. I love that.
That is nice and citrusy.
Well, listen, I was just taking advantage, as New Jersey law says I can, that you can exchange buds between adults. And man,
Mr. Bubbles,
you gotta like him. I mean, he smiled more than me.
You gotta love Mr. Bubbles.
We don't have a damn rant for him today, but I don't know. It's just like exchange a couple of things,
Honk for home grow. Honk for home grow. And they're honking.
Oh, I still smell it. I like that.
We're honking. Get those horns a honking. Be honking, people. Be honking. All right, people.
Yeah.
CWA in the house. We got some big hats in the house. People are pulling into the driveway. We got more people coming in here. Mr. Bubbles is flying up the street. Here he goes.
And for those who are doing legislative business today, there are many windows in the annex right up there that do face down here.
Oh, yeah. They see us.
So for and if you're not Scutari, but somebody who knows him and maybe you're also a Democrat, it's in your head. And if you don't talk about it with him, he's like, you're purposely not talking about it. What do you think? I just like it to come up in conversation. One time, State Senator Andy Ciesla, Cheryl's state senator, my state senator, he was getting a Man of the Year award. Man of the Year award.
Man of the Year.
After ignoring Cheryl and refusing to meet with us for like 9 years. Yeah, he's getting a Man of the Year award. So it's going to be, I forget what the motel was on Route 37. You had to ride right, only one way in. Oh no, Lefty, I should be doing that. Got the tape over here. I gotta go put tape on it. Switch. Yeah, the wind is causing havoc. So you have it's going.
Doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, are we?
I have a table up by the road with a QR code to a petition. Well, let's just say urging Senate President Scutari to allow Senator Singleton's medical cannabis home grow bill S 1393 be posted for an informational hearing. So I have a QR code there and another sign explaining the deal with the petitions for, main sign and then a takeaway. But people have stopped and done that. And sometimes that gets into circulation beyond. But just the fact that there would have to be a petition to allow a bill, the entry to a bill becoming law, having an informational hearing, to stop a bill for over 4 years from having an informational hearing to where the only information senators know about that bill is whatever their perceptions are of it. Just the home grow 4 plants, mature 4 mature. That's all you know. And there's people for it and people against it, and they come together at a hearing and they testify, and there's senators on the committee who are for it and who are against it, and they ask questions of the people they might think are out of line. Say, no, I don't believe that's true. The conversation is between the people testifying, usually portraying themselves as experts or people with skin in the game, and then they get to answer questions of somebody that can not hold their feet to the fire, but make sure they're not exaggerating or, where do you get that? And that is senators' best source of information on the merits of any bill. So to stop the hearing from happening without ever explaining why, for Senator Scutari, total, it covers 2 Senate presidents and three legislative sessions, the blockade. I mean, this is a health care bill. And because people, it's whatever the stigma, it's health care. And it shouldn't be taken that lightly. That co-sponsors of the bill, who are Democrats, don't want to piss off Senator Scutari and say, "Hey, listen, I really need you to let that bill be heard." It's 1,261 days from when he became Senate President till today. 1,261. You can actually ask your answering machine that. You got 2 dates. Ask how far. Boom, tells you right away. And that's what it is. It's far too long. And without explanation. Now it gets worse. That his plan is, when he asked to drop that, when he asked to let go of that rope, his whole plan is to have what he calls a tightly controlled, strict pilot program, only using the sickest and most hurt patients. Those are his words. There's other words within it. But I'm paraphrasing pretty accurately, and it's because you can see how he said that 4 years ago. He's been holding that rope with that excuse for 4 years, but done no planning on it. I haven't heard. Have you heard anything about a pilot program? I haven't. So when he says we've been talking about it, there's no we. There's been no talking about it. It's just a political expedience, and everybody does it. I don't blame him for that. What I blame him for is for not even coming close to actually explaining for real why, which means he can't, which means I think I'm right. He knows that if there's a hearing, the press is going to come out and they are going to hear some pretty good testimony. And then it's going to go how it goes for patients after that. Actually, after that, I'm going to be stepping way back just after the hearing, because then it's going to roll on its own. I mean, it will. Once the information's out, he's keeping that from happening. He's keeping this from the starting gate. And that's as underhanded as one can get, doing things legally by the Senate rules. So if it is heard in committee, what's going to happen is adults are going to say, hey, the same things that you're hearing now are exactly why it should be legal for adults to grow, and they will be right. That's what Senator Scutari doesn't want to happen. He doesn't want to have to justify to adults who can legally buy, sell, and consume cannabis for them. We tried. With patients, and that would be for mature and for immature. That's what's available. I mean, so there's 3 co-sponsors for the adult bill, adult patient bill, and 9 co-sponsors for the patients only bill. Now, you don't have to really go digging deep to say what does that mean. It means that that 2/3 of the senators who are willing to co-sponsor medical home grow are not willing to co-sponsor adults as well yet. They absolutely will after the hearing. Once this hearing is happening, co-sponsorship for the other will follow almost immediately. That's the quickest way in for adults. But for
Prevent
patients,
individual.
wow, what do you got?
Okay, here we go. Let's play devil's advocate.
About what?
Home grow.
Okay.
Denying sick and dying individuals access to homegrown cannabis can stem from several reasons, including 1. Legal restrictions. In many jurisdictions, cannabis cultivation is still illegal or heavily regulated, which can prevent individuals from growing their own plants.
That's number 1.
Oh,
Here we go.
that's as useless as could be. If it had a little more entertainment value, okay.
There's more. There's more. You want more? Is that your phone?
No, okay. Yeah, more, fine.
Yeah.
Let me-
Health and safety concerns. There may be worries about the potential for misuse or accidental poisoning, especially if children or pets are involved.
Comment. You can burp on that one if you want. Just bleh. If you're drinking soda, it'd be perfect, but you're not.
Oh, there's just too
Homegrown.
much. There's just too much to segue off of that.
Misuse or accidental poisoning. Cannabis poisoning accidentally.
Yeah. Well,
The children. The children. The children.
It is.
The children.
You can't protect everybody from everything, but I would say that however you protect them from alcohol is how you protect them from cannabis. Where do you lock up your alcohol?
Yeah. Put your cannabis where your alcohol is.
Where it's locked up.
Make sure cannabis and alcohol closet together.
But you're supposed to lock them up.
Lock it up.
Lock
up your weed.
And you should lock up your own medications as well, including cannabis. If it's you have children and they have friends and all, it's all you need to do. It's not like special.
You're special.
Well, it's
lock up your cannabis and your Chivas Regal.
Anything that you don't want your kids to have. I mean, if you might be one of the lucky set of parents that has a kid that does everything you say, but in my experience, that's really never happened, probably, without threat of getting messed up, Or,
all right, here's number 3.
Okay. Oh, just more.
Quality control. Homegrown cannabis may lack the consistent quality and potency found in regulated products, which can be critical for those relying on it for medical purposes.
Oh, wow. What? Wait a minute. Okay. We're in Jersey here where we don't have that. I don't know other states, but we have mold and pesticides and all this shit that they're testing.
Growing it yourself.
What?
Taking control of the plant from seed, all under your domain. Basking in whatever nutrients you do, growing it. It's like the one way you could ensure a continuous strain of something by cloning and extending something all by yourself, And even when you can buy something at a dispensary, they run out, don't have it anymore. They don't have a regular supply in most cases. Let me see if we have any. It's common, and I get it. It's hard to have the perfect supply where you don't have to throw too much away.
Shout out to Matt from Mad Hatter Dispensary. This morning, he told me to argue the points of home grow with Chat GPT. I said, really? So I said, really? He's like, yeah. They
Well,
said,
but it's only as good as the question you ask. I mean, you could ask a question in a way. It's like a poll, you know. You can definitely influence it.
this is a great question because I asked him, why should we not have home grow?
Yeah, that's as vague as can be.
Well,
Now you got to narrow it down a little bit.
how do you want me to narrow it? I got 7 things here. Let's go through these 7, and we can or 8.
Oh,
And
no,
we can
no. One more, maybe.
Look, these are good. These are good.
4. Lack of education. Some individuals may not understand how to grow cannabis properly or safely, leading to ineffective or harmful products.
Okay, harmful product if it grows on its own and it's really not very strong, you know.
Show me on the doll where I'm hurt. I'll show you.
Maybe that's the
Bud.
problem. Maybe there are legislators who do this and make decisions based on this. Lazy bastards, you know they will.
No. Well, these are horrible. These are absolutely terrible. All of these are absolutely rip these apart. They're so stupid.
That truck, that advertising thing that was here. Do we have access to? Yeah, okay, I got that. Okay, good.
These get worse. Listen to this.
5. Social stigma. Stigma surrounding cannabis use can lead to resistance from family members, caregivers, or healthcare
Okay.
providers, impacting access.
Okay, all right. Well, now we can unpack that now. Yeah, actually, that is an issue because, yeah, if you're in a wheelchair and you're disabled and you want to grow cannabis in your house and your family doesn't want you and they are a caregiver and they won't let you, that's a problem. It's not a reason why not to have cannabis, but it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a reason why not to have.
It's sort of like therefore nobody should grow their own.
But
you know?
it is an issue because
But you know, once it's every other state when it's legal for adults realize they can get it anytime they want now. It's not about can they get some from a patient who's growing their own, you know. And it's not like that wouldn't happen, but it's the not exactly no harm no foul, but what harm? You know, you got to establish if there was any. So if there's actually no harm and everybody wins, that's what you call a good business deal. Good deal. You win. Everybody wins that deal. What you want to do, win deals.
6. Insurance and medical policies. Some health insurance plans may not cover the costs associated with cannabis use, leading to barriers for
May
patients
not.
seeking.
They may not. They might fight like hell not to. Yeah, we're going to fight that. We don't want to cover it. You know, they'll want that to be at their discretion. But on the other hand, if that was let nature take its course, don't cover it. Somebody else does cover it. And maybe you got to pay more for that insurance, you know.
wow.
But if it was covered. Now, New Jersey does have bills that would allow pharmaceutical for the aged and disabled, PAAD, senior gold, to subsidize the cost.
Yes.
There is a bill, that bill last session passed out of committee, got a hearing, right? Passed out of committee, 8-0 with 1 abstention, and then never got posted for a vote. Now, this is a whole nother session in the second half. It hasn't even had a committee hearing this year. Why would that bill, which passed, not have a hearing this year? They're saying, no, you can't grow it, and we're not going to do anything we can to treat it like medicine by allowing PAAD to subsidize it. How is that so lost on everybody? I mean, I guess I get it, but it's all part of one unending tragedy. You know, certainly not in my time, but I hope history gets it right. And hell, we don't get history right the same decade.
As a treatment option.
Oh.
7. Fear of legal consequences. Patients may fear legal repercussions for growing cannabis, even if they have a legitimate medical need. 8. Ethical concerns. Some may argue that access should be controlled to prevent abuse or that it should be administered under medical supervision.
What?
Supervision.
You mean every time I smoke a joint, I got to call my doctor? Get the heck out of here with that. What are you, nuts? What? Do you want to rephrase the question? Is there a better question to ask?
No, I don't think they could handle a real question.
Go ahead. Give me the question. Go ahead.
No. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to think of it first. That's what you. That's the kind of thing you want to narrow it down. That you know.
Well, I asked a pretty not vague question. My question was,
No, yeah, I know what it was.
what
Don't
are the
say-
reasons to deny the sick and dying access to homegrown cannabis in their homes? That's pretty specific.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
They're
do have
not
to
going to. Yeah, basically, if I can find the right question that it would give reasons that you might hear from people, that could be an aid. You know, I don't want to work on it right now, but I am going to. It makes sense because let
me ask.
Yeah, I don't know. You should do that on your own time.
Why is Senator Scutari denying home grow hearings in New Jersey? Hold on, let me fix his name.
That's how you find out, right? Is that a foreign clicking language?
Let's see. Be funny if they had an answer for that one.
No, I think something exploded.
Senator Nicholas Scutari's decision to deny hearings on home grow legislation can be attributed to several factors. Oh wow! All right, hold on. This is interesting. All right. This is interesting.
We got a nibble.
Senator Nicholas Scutari's decision to deny hearings on home grow legislation in New Jersey can be attributed to several factors. 1. Concerns about regulation. There may be apprehensions regarding the potential challenges in regulating home cultivation, including issues related to safety, quality control, and distribution. 2. Previous legislative priorities. Scutari might prioritize other legislative matters over home grow discussions, focusing on aspects he believes are more pressing or beneficial for the state's cannabis program. 3. Stakeholder input. It's possible that he is considering feedback from law enforcement, health officials, or other stakeholders who may have concerns about home cultivation leading to misuse or illicit sales.
What?
Second one had merit. Second thing it said.
Scutari might prioritize other legislative matters over home grow discussions.
Yeah, other legislative matter of getting as much money into the treasury through cannabis as he can, and home grow for adults, in his estimation, is going to cut that shorter. You know, it's going to. His power lies in the fact that he's good for the bottom line of New Jersey. You know, and that gets you preference with some species. He knows he can't hold on to the patient rope anymore. That's why he doesn't say why. He outruns it, and you can outrun patients for over 3 years, apparently.
Yeah, ran me in my wheelchair.
Yeah, he's literally went upstairs to get away from you.
He outscooted me.
Yeah, scooter outscooted.
He outscooted me. Here we go.
4. Public opinion. The senator may also be gauging public sentiment and determining that there is insufficient support for home grow legislation at this time. 5. Legal and political implications. Home grow legislation can be politically sensitive, and Scutari may want to avoid potential backlash or complications in the legislative process. 6. Implementation challenges. There may be concerns about how home grow regulations would be implemented and enforced, particularly in terms of ensuring compliance. These factors often play a significant role in legislative decision-making, especially regarding controversial or complex issues like cannabis cultivation.
Well, that had merit, but we already know it. But if you didn't, 2 and half of them, but when him worrying, see, the top dog doesn't worry about the bottom dogs. He's the alpha leader of the Senate PAC. So, you're going to challenge him, you better know you can get something from it other than all of a sudden you don't have the same committee assignments the next year and you're working in the Jersey Cafe instead. What do you got now? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share this with you. It's interesting.
Bonghalelia is a social media personality and content creator known for producing humorous and often satirical videos,
Oh,
particularly related to cannabis culture and lifestyle. They engage with their audience through platforms like TikTok and Instagram, where they share comedic skits, commentary, and relatable content that resonates with fans of cannabis and counterculture. Their unique style and approach have garnered a following, making them a recognizable figure within that niche community.
That's Bongholio. She said it wrong. She said what did she say? What did she say here?
I didn't know who she was. talking-
Bonghalelia is a social
Bonghalalio?
Bongholio. That's good. Bongholio.
Yeah, well, that could be a nickname if you could do it.
Oh, I like this program. This is fun. You can ask any question. Ask any question. Oh, no.
Well, you know, it still happens to be sitting around watching TV, and if it takes more than 10 seconds, what movie was he in? Oh, I'm the first one to pick it up and ask, and I shouldn't be. I'm the old. I love that clicking sound. It does. It sounds like some tribe somewhere communicating with clicks and, knuckles on their noggin. Oh, that's the sound of your thumbs. I didn't know that. I am the old man.
That's the sound of my thumbs tapping on the screen. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. This is interesting. I don't know if this
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, here we go.
I won't be the judge.
All right, listen to this.
Jim Miller pushed Cheryl Miller in a wheelchair during an event in New Jersey to raise awareness and advocate for individuals with disabilities. This act was part of a larger initiative to highlight the challenges faced by those with mobility issues and to promote inclusivity. By using a wheelchair, Jim Miller aimed to draw attention to accessibility concerns and encourage conversations about improving conditions for people with disabilities in public spaces. Such gestures often serve to inspire empathy and understanding within the community.
Wait,
Those were byproducts.
Let's add cannabis to this conversation now.
Well,
let's add.
Well, see, those were byproducts. It's true.
It's true. It is true.
That's what we did produce that because, I'd have to carry her like into somewhere sometimes, I mean. Yeah, anyway.
Let's try this. Let's put cannabis in there.
And this is the last one. It's like 2:00. Did we stump it?
I think we got it.
Jim Miller pushed Cheryl Miller in a wheelchair during a demonstration in New Jersey to advocate for legal cannabis, particularly emphasizing the importance of access for individuals with disabilities and medical needs.
Yes.
This act aimed to raise awareness about the benefits of cannabis for patients who rely on it for relief from various ailments. By using a wheelchair, Jim highlighted the challenges faced by those with mobility issues, reinforcing the message that legal cannabis should be accessible to everyone, including those who may have difficulty obtaining it due to physical limitations. The demonstration sought to promote inclusivity and support for cannabis legislation that benefits all members of the community.
It doesn't mention multiple sclerosis, though.
Yeah,
It's just there's, do I have to add multiple sclerosis to it too? Like, what?
Yeah, well,
Give me
I
more.
guess there's probably a limited amount of how much
disappointing.
it has to be germane to. Really, the thing is, it's like an onion. You peel it back, there's more. I mean, you got to stop peeling somewhere.
Disappointing. No, actually, not. It's just some of it was. I liked it. I liked some of it.
I've never peeled an onion back. Have you? I mean, I've cut them. So old, I'm using sayings. I don't even know why. And peel back the layer. And it makes you cry.
Well, I want to thank Mad Hatter Dispensary for having us. Lots of events this year at Mad Hatter. If you saw the picture of the topless dab bar, that really happened. That's the topless dab bar.
Where was the top missing?
The top was gone. Yeah, topless dab bar.
I got like automatic blinders that are really limiting the possibilities of any visuals I will allow in my head for that, and I can't picture it. I'm not allowed. I do.
Thank you, Mad Hatter, for having us and having my back, and I appreciate all the love and support you guys have given us and medical cannabis patients here in New Jersey. The patients really appreciate it. CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org, where you can donate to SativaCross.org on Jim's page with his birthday fundraiser. You can go right to his page, Jim Miller at Facebook. You'll see the fundraiser right there. Give $1, give $5, give a hunk for home grow. Give something. Give back. Give a tithing. Give some weed. Give something to somebody. Do what Wayne did. Read that note. Yeah, I'm going to read that actually again. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to go back.
Got a note to read?
Yeah, I got this note to read. I really like it a lot. It's really amazing.
And what reference of a note? A note to
a note that Wayne wrote before he passed, obviously, because he can't write it after he passed. But I don't know how long before. But I'll read it to you. What if I were to die today? What if today was your last? I'd be sorry for how I acted in the past. I wish I could apologize for all those I wronged. I wish I would have shown more love. Remember, you can't give enough. Love is the real stuff. And I was worried about looking tough. But it's all about love, love, love. Life is too short. Learn love. Learn to love. Learn to put others above you. Do it now before it's too late. Do it now. Wait. Choose love over hate.
That shouldn't be on.
That's from Wayne.
Hold on, I'm working myself here. Give me a moment.
Joined our very sad list. Hello, Bucket Man. Hold on, I can't hear you. Where are you?
Oh, that's what's happening.
I got you now. Bucket Man in the house. Okay, I can hear you now.
I can hear you guys. Where are you guys at right now? How you been?
Good. We're at the Trenton State House. Yeah.
What's going on there?
Protest for home grow cannabis in New Jersey. We want medical cannabis home grow hearings. And we have the rat here. That's Ratari, and we have signs all over Ratari. We have signs over here, signs everywhere, and we have a lot of people here. Actually, Jimmy Davis, newly elected sheriff of Hudson County, or primary at least, was here with Jay Coffey, who was the Bayonne city attorney and former mayor of Oceanport. So they were here for a second. That was cool. I hope they come back out. Mr. Bubbles was here. Mr. Bubbles was here. We got someone, Mr. Bubbles. That was fun. We haven't seen Mr. Bubbles in a while. And we're just hanging out, smoking a lot of weed, protesting our government, which we do 11 years
right now.
And we're gathering some signatures for the petition demanding Senator Secretary to get out of the way and let the bill, home grow patient bill, happen. But by a table right on the sidewalk, right out at the sidewalk. And with the QR code there, and I don't know where it is. Anyway, the QR code there, and people stop and take a picture of it, and then they're right there, and I can say that's awesome. When take a couple of the papers, you can have the QR code with you. Hand it to somebody else, and it's really interacting with people as they go by has been the best part of the day, and a lot of people going in and out of the State House. So right by the road is where it's at, because they don't go in by the main annex entrance, and they
Yeah.
don't go in by the former main entrance.
They got to go right past us.
They put an entrance right in between the buildings.
It's great.
Another edifice that you can enter in and then go from there.
They're all walking past Ratari.
Ratari.
So
Love
half it was trying to tell people, no, you can't get in that way. And then a minute later, they come back. Yeah, I told you.
So a lot of traffic redirection.
Yeah, it's foot
Yeah.
traffic.
Very good foot traffic today. The
So,
CW here.
I think it was back in was it either April or May? I was at the High Rollers event. I sent you, Lefty, some pictures of some people I met there who apparently knew you guys very well.
Cool.
I forget who they were. God, I'd have to dig through my phone. There were some from the Homegrow coalition, and it's so long ago. But the point is that there was one gentleman I talked to who runs another cannabis church out in PA. I don't know if you heard about him. He got his church got raided back a couple months ago.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no. So he was. I was talking to him, and he apparently got busted for. He was handing out pre-rolls, which, as a church, that's something you're going to do. Which, by the way, he did break this down for me as basically stating the obvious that these kind of things offer umbrellas of safety in legality in a lot of senses. Doing it in the church religious style sense, which I definitely opened my eyes a lot more to this. But yeah, I was talking to him, and his church got raided, and he was talking to me more and more about the mentality of the area, the kind of ignorance of the police to the whole situation and whatnot. And I don't know why this hasn't been said more with more of the situations, but I think it's more applicable to him. But it sounded everything like a civil rights case to me in that situation. I mean, you've got a religious group, whether whatever you think about it, with an ill opinion within the area, and then having entry forced upon on them. And I think in those types of scenarios, to push the situation in a lot of regards is an important conversation to have. I don't know if you guys had heard about that.
No, I need to get a link, and I need to talk to that guy. But in New Jersey, we're allowed to give away cannabis. It's part of the law. We can give away an ounce to somebody.
Yep.
So pre-roll, yeah.
We know, and you know what? That's the thing. You guys have heard me say this before. We have our bits that we want to say about New Jersey cannabis, but at the end of the day, I was in Massachusetts when COVID started, right before we legalized. They have, and I don't know if they still have, rules about where you can smoke, and very, very strict ones about how you consume in the public. And I don't think people credit enough how New Jersey wasn't that strict even from the start. They were, as long as you're not invading people's space like you would with a cigarette, then you're fine. And I think, like I said, there's definitely a lot of complaints we have about this industry, but I think we definitely need to remember that there's a lot of good starts that we've gotten out on. But
we just talked to Delaware. The racetrack called us. The Monster Mile called us, and they want to give us a 20% discount on tickets. I said, well, I would love to come there, but can we smoke cannabis as a medical patient at the Monster Mile? She said, hold on, let me go ask the boss. So she went, asked the boss, and the boss said, yeah, we can smoke cannabis in the smoking area as a patient. I said, yeah. So we might go to the Monster Mile in Delaware. Road trip.
Actually, you guys should and I want you guys to probably get in a conversation about this, but if you don't mind real quick, because this is a really cool, I think there's only been one event done like this before, but this company I'm working with, North Step Industries, we're on the July 3rd, we're having a moonlit sesh by the bay. It's a little cannabis cruise that's going to go along the coastline of Atlantic City.
Yes.
It's Honey Buzz, MPX are involved. It's going to be I think there's only, like I said, been one boat event cannabis like done before. It's definitely going to be tickets are still on sale. If you guys can make it, it'd be awesome. But whoever can, it's going to be a hell of a night. And it's right before the 4th. So we're definitely going to see some fireworks.
Very cool.
Yes. It's been interesting going into the entertainment. I've been delving into the entertainment side a lot more now, and I don't know. I just don't think that a lot of people are really aware of the opportunities that exist within the cannabis industry. I think there's still a lot of that same kind of I don't want to call it ignorance, but still instilled fear about being public with cannabis. With a lot of people, I've found more and more, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I wonder in a lot of reasons why that is. I haven't seen a lot of media really, I guess, smearing anything, but I guess I'm not going to come across things like that. But I don't know what you think about that.
Well, what I think is you should come to the Mad Hatter on Sunday. We have Cannabis Church at 11:11. And we're also having Puffin Paints coming up. And 7:10 is Cannabis Patient Awareness Day.
Please don't do this the worship session shirtless, please.
Oh, yes, topless dab bars. Don't forget the topless dab bar.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What gave you when did you think when did you wake up and you were just like, you know what? The shirt's gotta come. Was it one of the 100-degree days? Was that what happened?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'll give you a pass on that. I will give you an absolute pass on that. No way. I've scolded you many times for your choices in wardrobe and actions, but
lack of now.
That was survive. I'll give you a pass on survivability there.
That's funny. No, it was hot, bro. The air
it has been hot.
No, I couldn't do it.
But here's the thing. It's earlier than the usual July when this starts, but at the end of the day, this is a Jersey summer. Hot during the day, and then at night, it's beautiful.
No, Rob took those pictures. I had my shirt off, and he started taking pictures of me behind the dab bar. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to lean into this one. I'll do topless dab.
Did you make him uncomfortable? Did you try to give him a hug?
You can't make him uncomfortable. He had a can of fart spray. Bro, he had a can of fart spray.
You are a can of fart spray.
I can't compete with that.
I mean, I think you can. I have confidence in you.
All right, so come out to the Mad Hatter, 7:10,
and worship,
and come out to Sunday worship too.
Jesus was the original hippie. It's fact. So
our list. That was Wayne's poem, by the way. It was pretty. Did you like Wayne's poem? It was "Give Love," and I don't even know what to call it. It was amazing, amazing. I really liked it, and so we'll do our list now. Not even ready with the list.
A lot of people they got outlasted in their quest for cannabis equivalency, at least, I mean, it shouldn't be worse than any other thing that you don't like if you don't like it.
67,000 left of us. 67,000 patients. Right?
So,
is that the number?
Along the way, a lot of people like to utter their names out loud. It's like they're not completely gone as if they didn't exist.
Johnny.
And Johnny Trash, rightfully so. I definitely get that vibe more and more now. I see it from people. And I think definitely in this environment right now, it's definitely even more reasonable to have that fear. So I get it.
Johnny's paranoid about the police harassing him about cannabis.
Name anyone who isn't paranoid about any kind of sort of authoritative agent right now. Got the words out of my mouth.
Our list begins with Cheryl, Sabina, Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorn Peters, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia.
It's hard to audibilize Wayne. It's going to feel recent for a long time.
And I know you guys, I've recently lost someone, and this is the first time I'm getting to see you guys relatively in person. So I'd just like to extend my condolences after reading that list. You know, you guys, I say this, you guys work hard at what you do, trying to, you know, raise the word about this and trying to keep people remembered. And keeping memories like this isn't always easy, and it's sometimes painful, and you're perfectly human for that.
That's the motivation, though. That's why we're here.
Hell yeah.
It's you can't let it slow down what they took part in. You know, they literally had skin in the game. Well, Mike Kessler did. He that burnt over 98% of his freaking body. But anyway, yeah, it's trying to keep that at the forefront. It is a healthcare bill. And, you know, if you want to triage bills you can't get around to, don't make it healthcare bills.
And
So we had Cannabis Church this weekend. We had Wayne's sesh on Saturday night. And when Saturday night was great. We celebrated. We got super stoned. We got Barini high. And Andrew walks in with a box. And it's a beautiful box filled with beautiful knives that he had as a set. It was it was an engraved, it was either burnt or engraved in the top, Cannabis King. And he had made this for Wayne a few weeks ago, and he wanted to give it to Wayne, but he had passed before he had the chance to give it to him. So Andrew gave me this box, and he gives me this box, and I'm like losing it. So I bring the box over to Wayne's sisters who are sitting there, Jen and Ange. They're sitting there. So I said, here, I put the box between them. I said, Andrew, this is Jen and Ange. I said, this is what he did for you, for your brother. And I walked away. I left them the box. So Andrew knew, you know, well, so the box was left with the sisters because that was what I wanted to do. Well, next day was Cannabis Church, and I read Wayne's poem, by the way. And as soon as I read Wayne's poem and got finished with Wayne's poem, the first parishioner to the church walked in and made it official. Johnny Trash. I don't want to call you Johnny Trash. Johnny Stash walks in, and I'm like, oh, it's her first parishioner. I'm like, oh, well, it's official church. So Johnny Stash is in the room now, and I just read Wayne's poem. I'm like, wow. The service starts. Andrew walks in. Andrew comes in with another box that he made at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he says, listen, I saw your face when I gave you this box. And I said, I want you to have this box. And I'm like,
you don't know what to say. It's a lot, yeah.
So I'm going to use that knife set. It's a beautiful knife set. Whenever I have a steak or something fancy, even not fancy, I'm going to use that knife set. And
Only
always
the finest meats for the Wayne blades.
we had a toast with Barini's balls. I went to Barini's. I got Barini's balls. Got 50 balls in sauce, and we all had a toast. We put balls in a cup, and we all toasted to Barini's balls. It was great.
You were good. You had such a nice sentimental track going there, and then you just the phrasing. It's just
It was beautiful. It was absolutely
the balls were beautiful. They were beautiful balls. And I thought, let me defend Johnny Trash for a minute. I say keep it trash because trash is subjective, and if trash is subjective and one man's trash is another man's treasure, then who are we now to call that trash anything other than trash? So Johnny Trash, your trash is treasure, and that treasure is trash. So there.
I had to hang I had a white Cannabis King shirt on. I had to wash it and hang it on the wall because I got Barini's ball juice on it, and I had to clean it, so it got all messy. So, but they are the best. Go to Barini's in Randolph and get Barini's meatballs.
So there were balls that you put in your mouth.
Barini's meatballs, the best meatballs ever.
You put a man's balls in your mouth.
Hold on. Okay. The last name on our list is the last name on our list. I love breaking the list up, but we got to go. No, I love breaking the list up with humor because this is a very sad list, and especially now with Wayne passing. This is the first time we're at the State House with Wayne being gone, like with no chance of him coming here. Like, not that he was here a lot lately, but you know, this is the first time we're here with when he's gone. Different vibe for me.
Yeah, that's surreal. I would bet.
Never again.
Jeff Oakes is the last name on our list, but not least. He's a bookend. Cheryl and Jeff are the bookends of this list. If Governor Murphy took Jeff under his wing back when he was begging him for his life, when he came to the meeting and says, Governor, they'll allow me to kill myself. They'll let me kill myself legally, but not give me the medicine and let me grow the medicine that I need.
The governor had to read that off a 3x5 file card as Jeff's question. It wasn't Jeff saying that. It was the governor saying,
yes.
Well, how is it New Jersey will help me die, but not help me live
yes, that was
with growing cannabis?
Yes, amazing.
And I believe he said something like, I don't want to answer this.
Yeah.
That was the first thing out of his mouth.
Yeah. Let me pass this on to Judy from the health department. Let me just pass this over. Pass the buck. Immediately.
Well,
he's an expert.
That got me,
expert,
actually, all that to go down sometimes after the podcast to hold the sign outside his office there. You know, and I still look at that one with me in the rain, figuring my range when I did go, it was $7,200 would be what I would spend at a dispensary. Yeah, so... Yeah, it was like, again, like Senator Scutari, Governor Murphy embraced cannabis being legalized, and he ran on it. And he said he would have it done in his first 100 days. And, you know, he wasn't like terribly, all things happened. But it was, his support was to get it so New Jersey could get a slice of the pie. It was the green rush for him. It's like, how does New Jersey profit off this?
The old green rush.
That was the goal, and it's evident it doesn't have anything to. But to say that, you know, and patients should be able to grow their own. It won't hurt New Jersey's bottom line. They get no slice of that pie. No sales tax. You know, nothing. And get nothing. Got to let go of that rope. That's all. Going to ramp it up. You got to find out what it costs to get that sign truck that was here all day and ride around Nick Scutari's block for like 4 hours, you know?
Love it.
I mean, just ride around the block.
Block and his office. Just go from his office to his block.
Well, his office is probably not near where he lives, though. I don't know where he lives.
Yeah, I don't know where he lives anymore.
Yeah.
Find out, though.
Well, that's fair game. I mean, you know, 4 years is going to turn into 5, is going to turn into 6, but not for everybody. Not for everybody. There's going to be more and more names on that list.
Not for Wayne.
We got to like do it a little differently somehow.
Oh.
You know, it's like the younger influence isn't really doing it totally differently. It's actually sometimes more along the other lines that do need to be done. I mean, you don't abandon things, you add different things. It's not like changing tactics. It's got to add something new to the mix. because the groundwork and the gut punches everybody gives, in building bridges. Shouldn't have taken this long though, but can't be for lack of effort. I don't know. I imagine at the end of anybody's life, and anybody's like, did I do enough? Did I make a difference? Or it could be just, ow. So let's wind up the podcast with
we're back here in 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks is July 10th, Cannabis Patient Awareness Day. We're going to be back here. What was that? Is that you? Is that me?
That was probably me. I moved my mic.
That was you.
Right when I moved my foot.
That was like,
you guys go to 7:10.
Yeah, 7:10. We're having an event here at the State House, a sesh, of course, and then at the Mad Hatter at 4:20 p.m. We're having another little podcast at the Mad Hatter. We're having a little sesh up there. So come out to either the State House or Mad Hatter on 7:10. Cannabis Patient Awareness Day.
It'll be a blast.
That's it. That's all we got. See you next time.
Good.
Well, I have to get ready for an event tonight, guys. It was good seeing you again. I will chat with you later.
Thanks, Bucket Man.
Later.
Always a pleasure.
We got to do the ode to remembrance, though.
They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady in the glow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them.